Welcome to The Forgotten God, a 5th edition D&D campaign. My name is Saffron Rothschild, and I must confess I have somewhat of a headache this morning. When last we met, we went to Gator Joe's Slop Shack. The food was interesting. Then there were bets made on my ability to eat an entire bowl of something. A bit of trickery was involved with Captain Malove and Paw Paw winning their bets, but when they did, I got rather inebriated somehow, and I became determined to win the Turtle Jump Game Challenge. The entry fee for that game was colossally high, and I put all of my gold into it, but still didn't have enough, so Rain offered her amulet as a kind of collateral against my win. That girl does trust me. And I did win. And I won all the golden jewels, which included Rain's amulet. Then, after much celebrating, Gator Joe offered a closed chest in exchange for all the gold and goods. And after much distracted discussion with my fellow travelers and a great deal of chanting by the people in the slop shack of chest, 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 well, I took the chest. Inside was an amazing, enchanted rapier, a weapon that becomes attuned to its owner. Because I had to offer all of the gold and things that I had won, Captain Malove ransomed Rain's amulet so she could get it back. Many people in this establishment were selling various and sundry peculiar items, and near the end of the evening, an owl fellow came in with the most amazing items for sale. We left without buying too much. I believe most of our gold was gone, what with one thing and another, but the one thing we did come away with was a splendid green jewel that looked like a turtle shell. Rain is sure that it is the gem that was part of Professor Brumblebottom's notes. I nearly blew our cover in my drunken and exhausted state. I mentioned that the gem looked familiar. You see, I had forgotten that the professor had hidden his notes and we had secretly found a way to read them. Yoicks. You know, as wild a night as we had, nothing could have prepared us for the event that wrapped our day's adventure. The combined effort of the party to get Rain's amulet back, and the camaraderie we've established over the last few days, and I suppose the willingness everyone demonstrated to save our very own sorceress from the dreaded Silent Order, earned us Rain's trust, all of us. And in a magnificent transformation, Rain revealed her true identity. Lady Rain von Alsif. Now that a new day is dawned, I simply can't wait to see what happens next.
All right, so welcome to the 4th chapter of the Forgotten God campaign, this one entitled Dryfoot Hill, for obvious reasons. It is important and very, 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 very reasonable to note that this campaign have been based on an amazing campaign setting by RPG Tunes and R&W. You can find them on Patreon, and I will post the links to their Patreon in the notes when this episode gets posted on Twitch. And let me tell you something, it's amazing. It's wonderful. We absolutely love it. This campaign setting is probably one of the best I've ever played, which is why I run it. Please support them. Run it yourself. I don't know. Nobody's watching this, but nonetheless. Here we go. Welcome to the 4th chapter of The Forgotten God.
Yes. Hello.
All right.
Well, hello everyone.
Everyone is here. Terrific. Let's jump straight to it because we're a little late.
I'm quite ready.
Okay.
Oh, Francis, don't forget to put your we need to see you in our adventuresome.
Yeah, don't forget the fantasy grounds, buddy.
Yes. Grab your character, please. Go to the PCs button, click on it, double click on your character, etc.
I'm voting. Give me a minute.
Pick it up, as they say it where I'm from. Well, while he's doing that, let me go over what happened. Last time we have left our adventuring party on their final leg of their journey from the famed and fabled Gator Joe's Slop Shack.
Oh yes.
All the way down to Dryfoot Hill. And I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to get your bearings because on this adventure we still do not have Twig. Twig was helping the Boggin girl that you have captured and her uncle to get her to Fort Hamel, or at least in some way assisting. He said he's going to go ahead and he's going to meet you in about a day and a half, maybe, at the town's gates, which is the easiest place to meet, because that is the place that everybody knows where it is without even, city gate, without even being there once. However, this isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do for anyone, because as you understand, you are traveling by water and you've never been there before, and so this is where we meet ourselves again. Professor Brumblebottom have been really busy during this last leg of the journey, scribbling in his journal, barely coming up for air, and just dismissing everyone, saying that he has very important things to do, some calculations, some precise instructions to note. And shortly before you have set your sights to the shores of Dryfoot City, he gathered everybody on deck and he looked at you and he said, well, it is no mistake that you have been doing your work and providing me with excellent assistance as per the terms of our contract, which is the nature of this conversation. We need to, and you notice he's sweating profusely. He's just a very sweaty little bugger in general. And he goes in and he says, well, the important thing to tell you is that I am, of course, the man of his word, and I intend to make good on providing the first half of the payment up front as we agreed. Unfortunately, you may have said that, you may say that our, how would you call them, adventures, our venture have hit an unexpected bump here and there, and our funds are not where they were intended to be or were predicted to be in the beginning, but nevertheless, I have here, and he raises really high this leather purse, an impressive purse of no less than 250 gold, which I would like to award you with. This is, of course, the payment up front. And this is for all of you. This is not just, individual payments. That would be preposterous. Where would I have that kind of money?
50 gold apiece.
But, there you are.
Thank you.
You deal with it as you will. And, don't spend it all in one place. We will be arriving in Dryfoot City shortly, and as we are, I would like to request of you not to run off. We will have to go through customs, and thereafter we will have to find ourselves a place to stay. That would be of paramount importance. We have options, you see, but I haven't really been there or seen any of them, so there will be a significant amount of walking about and figuring out what would be the most suitable accommodations for us that would fit our modest budgets. This may come up, so I'd rather address it ahead of time. I am giving you your money because, I am really not at liberty to pay for all of us or to supply us in any other way that I haven't been otherwise done before. So you will be responsible for your own room and board.
Okay.
But with this money, it shouldn't be very hard. And with that, I would like to return back to my cabin and to do the last of the preparations. Please let me know when you will see the sides of the docks and customs. And he kind of bows and hands who would be receiving the purse of money here.
I don't mind taking care of it for us, so I can disperse it among the people, if that's all right with everyone.
That's fine by me. Everyone gets 50 gold apiece.
Yes.
Yes, that is wonderful. Captain Malov is nowhere to be found. He is, at this point, sleeping below deck. Sleeping it off, as it were. Something about Gator Joe's and drinking, and then he got really sentimental about receiving the effects. This strong box that he had retrieved from Gator Joe that got him really melancholy. He didn't really want to get into it with anyone, and he just basically drank alone for a very long time until he passed out, and remains there since.
All right then. Well, I shall hold his pay for him in the pouch here. But Rain, here is your 50 gold.
Thank you kindly, Baroness.
Indeed. And Francis, here is yours. And I shall hold on to Captain Malov for when he decides to put his head back together again, poor boy. And I have 50 of my own now, so we're all good. And I shall keep a hold of this little pouch.
Is anyone doing anything in particular?
At the moment?
Well, in general, yes. I would have to say.
I should rather like to eat something that's good. Do we have anything?
We have our rations.
Now, I must ask, does anyone know how long we are going to be on this boat until we can get to Dryfoot? Because I would rather wait rather than eat a ration.
I mean, I can fish for y'all.
Yes, you can. You absolutely can. But before we commence with
yes.
that, I would like to know what your general opinion is and what's happening.
Okay. I am going to try and get over to the side of the boat. I'm going to try using shape water to fish again.
No.
Are you absolutely sure, after this track record and after what have happened, that this is, in particular, what you're going to do?
I mean, slimes can't be in every part of the swamp, right?
Isn't the last time that you did that when we got attacked by jellies?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Rain, darling, maybe you should try and let Pawpaw do the fishing this time. just saying.
Rain's gonna soak for a little bit and I do believe that is best wise.
All right. So at this point, you would like to basically just fish, then try to get more fish in there. Yeah.
I mean, it's what Papa does to make it seem like he's working while everybody else makes the boat go.
All right. Papa sits down and hangs his buggered legs over the edge and fishes for what seems like 35-40 minutes and comes up with a small assortment of what passes for dinner. Another 40 minutes to an hour or so, and this can be prepared, and therefore something that you can eat. So once more, you don't really have to use a ration, thank God.
That's good.
Wait a minute. Are y'all cooking this fish?
Well, we do eat it cooked,
Oh man, y'all are so soft. Whatever, fine, all right. Can tell y'all ain't from around here.
Now, Francis, my dear, you may eat your fish. You may eat your
calls me Francis.
Pawpaw. You may eat your fish any way you like.
Thank you.
I am all in favor of that. In my upbringing, we tend to cook most things, especially any kind of thing that had once been living as an animal. We do cook that.
Likewise.
What happens if it tries to crawl away while you cook it?
Well, I mean, one does dispatch it before one cooks it here.
You guys are... Man, I'm not used to dry skins. All right, fine. Do what you want.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for the fish. It's absolutely lovely. Now, Rain, would you like to try and prepare this with me, or should I do it myself? I mean, we don't have Twig here on hand to make things taste absolutely delicious.
I can magic it tasty, but speaking of making the boat go, is Rain still driving?
Presently, yes. Well, she is not driving, she's navigating. That is to say
Well,
that she
yes.
decides where the boat goes. And I would imagine that this have happened. This is not going to be a full day of travel. You will arrive shortly. There are no roles that are particularly necessary, with the exception, of course, cooking, for which I must add, I am woefully unprepared, because that is precisely what you guys wanted to do.
Yes. I will assist the Baroness. So, Saffron, how would you like to do this? Do you want to roll with advantage, or do you want to have both of us roll and the highest one applies to it?
Let's
So-
do that. I think that
Who
I
is
think
going
that
to
we
be
need to.
who is going to be cooking? First of all, I would like for you to nominate who it is that is going to be doing the cooking part.
I think we should roll to see who cooks. What do you say?
I agree.
All right, very well. So you pull out your little dice set and you decided to Rochambeau for it. There you go.
yes.
You know how that goes. That's a good warm up for the day.
Oops, I think I did the wrong one.
Seems like Rain is going
There
to be
we are.
cooking.
Well then, how might I assist you? Because you have the kind of magic that makes things taste absolutely delicious. Do you need someone to help you build a fire or anything?
Yes, I cannot build a fire on my own. Magic is many things, but actually, no, wait. I can light the small fire. I just need to help build the fire up.
All right. All right. This is
And-
me speaking as me. How do I find wood or fuel on this ship to make a fire?
Well, let's look around and realize that the barge is made entirely out of wood. So if one needs to find wood, one only just needs to look towards the most natural source, as nothing else grows there.
Oh
Let
my
us not
gosh!
sit-
Don't.
Let us
don't-
not make a fire on a
No.
ship made of wood.
No. All right. Then what?
Wait,
what do we?
didn't we get cooking materials from that Boggart village that we were at?
You had them there, but nobody have made any attempts
We didn't make
to
any-
take it with you.
to bring
Nobody
it with us?
have-
Oh no!
Nobody told me that that is what you're doing, and therefore I
Oh,
have assumed
no.
that you're not taking it.
Don't
Was
have
I
it.
mistaken?
No,
I thought we did.
I don't remember, and I can't remember if I can't remember if Twig is the one who had it, because Twig always carries his stuff with him, but that doesn't mean he has
That's
a
true.
hibachi, and we don't have Twig on board. Oh, damn it!
Damn.
I say, Rain, what do you think that we just do our best to, by golly, while away the
So-
time?
Are there any low-hanging branches nearby the boat that we're driving by?
Yes, you are actually very close to the sides. If you've ever been to the Everglades, there's such thing as trees growing, as thick as walls, just
Yes.
about everywhere.
So I'm going to fly up, snap a few branches off, stick them through our fish. I'm going to cook them on the sticks with my hands.
with your
my.
hands. And
I'm going to use prestidigitation to cook them.
so you're gonna basically, just extend your palm, create a small fire, and then have other people use you as a cooking stove, essentially.
Essentially, yes. Because according to the spell, there. You can chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for an hour. Or you can... So, using that, can I use this spell to cook the fish?
Yes, you absolutely can. Everything
I
is
can-
absolutely possible in D&D, including that.
Yeah.
No matter
It
how
also says I
ridiculous
can
it sounds.
instantly light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire.
Yes.
Yes. So I can create enough heat to cook these fish.
Well,
You absolutely can. Now,
Alrighty.
now I
dirty
wonder.
Okay.
I wonder what possible other things our dungeon master might have had in mind for us to be doing that he might have had things ready for that didn't Shanghai him with cooking.
Oh, the cooking is absolutely fine. We can, in fact, cook. We haven't just gotten to that point yet. Like I said,
Yeah.
everything is going to be a little slow until it gets a little faster. We'll need a little warm up. So, Rain, much like we have established before, cooking requires a little bit of work. So, first thing first, you need to prepare the fish.
Yep. What skill do I use?
This relies on either your dexterity or wisdom. You decide whether you just really know how to cook the fish or just really, really freaking good at it in terms of just being swift and dexterous.
Now, is it possible that I could help with the preparation and allow our beloved Rain to do the cooking part? Is that possible?
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely fine. It's entirely up to you.
That's perfectly fine. My dex and whiz bonuses are both +2.
My dex is +3.
All right, you can prepare the fish.
Righto. So, I say, someone help me decide how it is that I might be able to prepare this fish.
All right. You, of course, need to tell me what you're doing. Because
I am going to tell
like
you that I'm going to run. I am going to roll for dexterity then.
Terrific. And at that, we will make our first roll of the day. Here we go.
All right. Well, I'm all right, I suppose, preparing fish. I've seen my brother do it.
Yeah.
God knows I never saw my mother do it.
Yes. This is odd fish. And you managed to, do your
You're asking
best.
two noblesses to cook.
Yes, you made the best of it. You stuck your fingers in it. You ripped it apart a little bit. It's not so much a prepared fish as a fish ready for cooking.
Oh dear, I'm
so
so sorry.
So it's not pretty, but it's not a contest. And so we go, of course, for execution, which is how you cook, which will require a feat of either intelligence or strength, because either of those would work. And you would need to tell me a compelling story of preparation there, Rain. So will that be strength or dexterity here? Oh, intelligence, sorry.
I am going to use my intelligence.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, because my strength is an 8.
That is a fine call. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to take these fish that I've stuck through with a stick, lift them in the air, and I'm going to try and create enough heat to cook them through, and while rotating the sticks in my hand,
So
while
you're
cooking
using
them with my other hand.
All right. This is at the times of like these that you would wish for a good polymorph spell and a couple of pseudopods.
Oh,
Roll for food poisoning.
rather.
Oh
dear.
Right. Well, it's hard to both handle the fish and keep them lit with your hands and everything. They come up with muddy handprints and all sorts of other things. And it's, again, prepared and suitable for eating, but not necessarily something that you would want.
Can I use prestidigitation to clean them?
Yes.
Can you use prestidigitations to clean them? To fake it? You want to use your magic to look better than you have done? Yes.
No, to actually clean them, because I can actually use a spell to clean things.
You can use a spell to clean things? Absolutely, then. Yes.
All right, then I will clean all the dirt and gunk off of them, and I'm going to look at the Baron and say, well, looks like we have mildly prepared sushi.
I suppose we do, and I think it's absolutely grand. And so,
which leads us to plating, which requires either charisma or constitution for obvious reasons. Who is going to be trying to make a delightful arrangement out of what one can only consider to be,
a thing,
a good effort?
Use my 15 charisma.
Do you have 15 charisma?
Yes, I do.
I admire your 15 charisma a great deal.
I'll be happy to help y'all if y'all want to make this look like a proper food from this part of the world.
I admire 15 charisma myself. I just don't really like talking about it in quite those terms. So.
Oh yeah. Does anyone want to assist me with this so I can get advantage?
I mean, I'll help.
Alrighty.
All right, Pawpaw, give me an all D20.
Or, I mean, maybe you'd rather help me since my best stat is charisma, but as you will.
Okay. Yeah, we're both charismatic people.
Are we though? Are we, though?
I'm talking to Papa here.
Just drop us down here. There we go. Maybe
Alright.
what just happened?
Oh.
There we go. Well, I helped.
I think so.
Yes.
You have indeed helped. All right, let's take a look at it. Yeah, that's fine. That's legit. So, Rain, you have managed to plate your fish in a manner which simultaneously slightly disguises its otherwise unappetizing properties, and also, looks decent enough where you could feel a little better for eating, strange fish. I use my air quotes really judiciously here. On a boat that you cooked with your hands poorly. So, what does it look like when you're done with it?
I'm going to fillet it, take it off the sticks, and try and wrap it up in itself, and then pierce it through with another skewer that I take off of a tree, so that they're kind of like fish rolls with a stick in the middle of it. And I'm going to try and season it with prestidigitation to make it flavored of smoked salmon.
You just
Boy.
reinvented the corn dog.
Yes, you just basically created a medieval fantasy version of corn dog. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's not bad. I mean,
I'm rather
worse
fond
things
of
happen.
corn dogs, actually, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
Is there anything I can do to help with sticks and things that aren't poisonous? I can rather, tell what are and what aren't. Do we need to gather any more things, or do we have them all?
Presently, you have everything you need for, a delightful food poisoning party. So,
How's
Wow,
everyone's
you guys are-
constitution stat?
While you guys are making all this fancy plating and everything, Papa does just have one fish he has eaten from the head down, like you would eat a pickle.
Oh, my goodness.
Because that's how
no.
you eat them.
well, yes,
Oh,
you start
Papa,
with the
but
head. The natural.
I suppose I admire that, don't you? I mean, the way he can just eat something without having to go through so much
So many-
labor.
Quite hearty indeed.
All right.
Well, so I say, let's dig in.
Indeed.
Yes.
I will toast the Baroness and knock my corn dog against hers and take a bite.
Indeed. Mine too. Oh, well then.
All right. Corn dog
Yes.
toasts all around. Corn-based
Yes.
economy have just been invented.
Ah.
All right. And
I will tell you, this is better than what I ate last night. How about that? I can tell you that in
Hey.
all honesty.
Hey.
Rain, I take it you're marking off all your spells and everything as you're going
These
about.
are all cantrips that I've been
Yeah.
using.
No cantrip,
Yes,
so there's
okay.
no use.
And you have refreshed your sorcery points, which you haven't, but I did it for you. You're welcome. All right.
Oh.
So, as you are enjoying fish, and again, you can watch me air quote like I'm about to take off here. Papa, you notice that you're coming up on something like a big live-in area. You start noticing more and more boats and barges drifting in from all directions, having made their own way through the swamp. They all seem to be heading at one point. The dockmaster's office. You can tell because it's got a big dockmaster's office over it, and short of neon lights, you can definitely tell where it is, a big arrow pointing, And there's a large line of boats waiting for their return at all times. Clearly, you have arrived at the city of Dryfoot. And here, the two of you will need to dock the boat. This will be lovely because it is, of course, a strength test yet again to sort of angle it towards and then, make sure that it does its thing. As you know, centuries of trade have turned Dryfoot from a simple rest stop to a thriving city in its own right. That is to say that it is a city that's built on the water and it is surrounded entirely by a flotilla of all flavors of boats. You're trying to park yourselves right next to it, and as you do so, Pawpaw gets all enthusiastic, jumps back and starts, port to starboard, belay this, do that, fling the thing over the thing, and then he just basically maneuvers the boat that it comes to starts doing the Tokyo drift straight into another barge, at which point the two collapse. There's this unnerving crunch, and you hear somebody from the other other side scream, "Hey, watch where you're going!" And you see this sort of a elderly man waving his hand at you. You're stopped, but only just, and now you jammed his poor boat between two other boats, and that's where it is.
I attempt to persuade him that'll just buff right out. Don't worry about it.
He looks at you and goes, "You'll be hearing from my lawyer. I will get the city guard to find you. This is unbelievable. I do not know how can
just remember,
and he
I'm
does
so
this.
sorry. The name of this boat is the Deadly Shawarma. Like, you can just look me up. I'll be happy to. Deadly Shawarma. That's SHWARMA.
Rain's gonna fly. Well, how far down is he?
I mean, I'll take a 16.
Ooh, all right,
How
fair
far
enough.
away is he from our boat? Since we're kind of pressed
Your
up against
boat
him.
is pushing his boat against other boats.
Oh,
So less than 10 feet.
Yes.
Okay, then
Actually,
Rain's
might
gonna
say
fly
because-
down.
Well, no, I mean, he's some maybe 15, 20 feet away from you from the middle, but...
I'm gonna fly down to his boat, and I'm going to try and use prestidigitation to make the damage seem less than what it was.
That's going to be a lot of prestidigitation. You can do 5 feet, and I mean, you just jammed the side of your boat in the side of his boat.
I know. I'm just trying to make it look less. I'm not trying to make it look perfect. Just less.
Well, I don't
I mean,
know.
I would argue a way better use of your time might be to see if you can make the name of the boat written on the bow say the Deadly Shawarma instead of the bobbing beauty.
I can't create illusions.
Oh, okay, never mind. Can I? I forget.
You're a
what am I-
bard. You have magic.
I mean, yeah, but I don't specialize in.
No,
I specialize in lying, not in illusions.
well, it's another kind of prestidigitation, just with your
You
mouth.
didn't take the minor illusion cantrip. Come on, man.
He did not. Sadly,
Damn
he did
it.
not. All right. All right. Rain
Do
comes
I-
up and inconspicuously starts waving her hands and gesticulating towards it, to which the man says, "I know your dirty trick, you bloody elves, all of your hand signs and things.
Oh shit!
Well, the same to you, madam. I bite my
Okay,
thumb at thee," and he bites his thumb at thee.
Did I
Rain's going
persuade
to-
him that our name is the Deadly Shawarma with the 16? Like, would that
Rain
not?
is going to shrink into herself a little bit and kind of make herself seem small and just fly back up onto the ship.
All right. Meanwhile, you see a group of individuals approaching your boat. They look a little bit like this. And they're a man and a woman. The woman is darker skinned, not a dark...
Nothing's popped up.
Yeah, nothing. They look like the Forgotten God, apparently.
Yes,
Yeah.
apparently. They will. Eventually. Things will happen.
Don't get there. Things were
Yes.
waiting. Oh,
Yes.
oh my! All right.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's the Redfoot. What is that?
And so
I think it's the Dryfoot, dear.
Oh.
the woman, the darker skinned
Look who has
woman does not
insights.
look like an elf. She does not also look like a woman who tans a lot. She just has a naturally darker skin tone, as you can imagine. You haven't really seen anybody like her where you're from. The man on the right is just obnoxiously pale, and the woman in between looks grizzled and determined. She's got short hair, this big cape on, and a very impressive, very shiny looking badge, considering the fact that even her slightly better than average armor looks worn, and though well kept, definitely not shined to a point, right? They're carrying these heavy bats that look as these sort of flat bats. They're not necessarily round like baseball bats. They look more like
Rather like cricket bats.
yes, like cricket bats.
Oh, they play cricket here.
Yeah, but not sharpened on the sides.
No.
They walk towards and look at the man and go, "You there, old man? What is the nature of all of this commotion?" And the man goes, "Oh, this stupid barge. They don't know how to drive. They just slammed me against this other man, and the damage is substantial. Well, I will have to sue them." The woman in the middle, the one without the helm, she turns around and goes, I am Captain Armstrong of the Dryfoot City Guard. I demand that your captain presents him or herself in front of me at this very instant so that we
All
can
right.
conclude this unpleasant business in a manner that will not result in any arrests. You have 5 minutes starting now. And she pulls out a little pocket watch.
All right, so I mean, Popeye is going to just do a bad job of this. So Popeye heads down the gangplank. I started with deception, trying to persuade her on the captain. I mean, that was my 16, and then that was Sam the captain. And then I'm trying with persuasion to convince her. Well, look, we were coming in like y'all would normally expect to vote to, and this crazy old man and his barge just swerved into us and hit us. But that's not going to be quite so believable.
Yes. She looks at you and goes, a likely story. Were you operating this barge at the time of the incident?
I mean, was I operating? Now, I have a crew. There was the wind and the wave. There's a lot of water hereabouts, you might have noticed. Frankly, if anything, I'm going to have to say we were equally at fault, honestly.
The woman on the right, the darker-skinned woman, turns to the one in the middle, to the captain, and goes, ma'am, if I may. She nods to her and she goes, this looks like a clear cut of having a little too much to drink while operating a barge. That is, I believe, Code 13 of the Penal Code.
I beg your pardon. I'm as sober as Gator Joe. Like, I've had nothing to drink since last night.
The captain in the middle, she motions at the man on her right and goes, William, go check this little boggart's breath for me. He goes, yes, ma'am.
I mean, I'll warn you, I just ate
club,
fish.
He takes his shield and he kind of puts the shield on his back, tucks the club in. He comes up to the board and motions for you to, hop over.
Hold on.
Get the
Oh my! Oh dear!
That takes him.
I'm going to use.
Hold on,
I'm good.
one moment. Takes him aback a bit. He kind of stands back and does this thing when he waves in front of his nose and he goes, my God, man, have some decency. There are children present.
Goddamn.
Yes, Rain, what are you doing?
I was going to use subtle spell and use prestidigitation to create an odor of clean breath for Papa.
It just smells like fish guts. I mean, I don't need
There's
anything.
there's
Wow.
nothing unusual with that. I would actually like to do a wisdom check to see if I can discern if they are nervous.
So perception then. No, I'm sorry. This is not perception. This is insight. And by they, you mean whom? The guard?
I mean the guards. Yes. All right. I want to determine if they're nervous about what they are doing.
By nervous, you mean are they intimidated by you or feel uncomfortable in any way?
Do they feel uncomfortable? Are they feeling secure in what they are they doing something they believe in?
No, they are as ready to bop you on the head and as confident in their ability to do so as anyone you've ever seen being ready to do just that have ever been.
Well, I do understand what you mean by that, but I'm talking about the intent, don't you know? Have they been given orders that they don't particularly care for? Do you see what I'm saying?
Ooh, that's a bit specific. Let's just say that none of them are hesitant or in any way, shape, or form uncomfortable in performing their duties.
All right, then.
They seem very, very sturdy and very convinced in their ways, and they're ready to execute on command kind of thing.
All right, then. All right, jolly good, thank you.
All right.
So my second persuasion roll was me saying, honestly, we're probably both at fault. There's a lot of water moving. He kind of came out of nowhere, but I will admit I was too busy showing my crew the wonderful sights of Dryfoot here. I may have gotten a bit distracted myself. How about we each just pay for the damage on our own ships and go on our way?
She looks at you and she looks at the old man and goes, what say you, old man? Do you agree to these terms? The man's like, this is preposterous. How would I? Well, I suppose the damage is negligible. And frankly, I need to deliver my goods and I am understaffed woefully. So if they are willing to pay for my damages, then I believe I'm not going to be pressing any charges. She
You
looks
know,
at
I don't.
him. She
I
kind
don't
of
think
nods
that's
at
what
him.
Papa said. You know.
She,
I mean, I'm gonna.
Mhm.
How do I evaluate how badly messed up this guy's boat is?
I would have to say, like, if you had to do, like, maybe like this.
Meh.
You would say that the damage is negligible. If anything, there is probably a board cracked, and perhaps your barge is actually the one that is worse off in this predicament to begin with.
I mean, that's fair. Professor Bumblebutt can fix that one. Okay, so actually, then I'll be like, you know what? On behalf of the illustrious crew of this fine ship, I will take your offer, sir. But I do warn you, do not try to pull any wool over my eyes. If something below your deck has sprung a leak, that is not caused by me.
He goes, why, I never. This damage here, I assess at 2 gold pieces. That would be enough to patch it up and pay for labor, I think.
If I pay the 2 gold pieces to you now, with you fine, I'm guessing you must at least be a colonel here, ma'am. In residence, I should have everything taken care of legally. Is that correct?
She kind of does a little thing when they click their heels and whatnot and look at you and goes, I'm the captain of the city guard, sir. And you would do well to know me by name and by face and know who I am, where I am, and that I am always watching. And you will
Yes,
be
ma'am.
well to know that there will be no shenanigans of any kind in my city, or the arm of the law will reach you anywhere you hide, and the following execution of the code of the law will be swift and done with prejudice. Is that clear?
Ma'am, no shenanigans was actually my mother gave me that as a middle name, as strange as that sounds.
You see that she really sort of almost wants to smile, but this is neither the time or the place. So she extends her hand, takes you 2 gold, tosses it at the old man and goes, "Are we square?" He goes, "Yeah, I suppose." She's like, "All right, stop by the dockmasters to be processed and also to receive the receipt of this incident." And she kind of does this thing when she points at both of her eyes with the 2 fingers, you know, and then the fingers back at you, and she goes, "And remember, I'm watching you." She turns
Yes,
around
ma'am.
and goes, "William,
Pleasure meeting you, Colonel.
Diana,
Thank you for. Thank
we're
you for
going
your help,
back." And she turns around, and the 3 of them start patrolling the other way. Meanwhile, it's a long way to the dockmaster's office.
Well, shall we go then? Are we finally tied to the dock and all that?
Let us not do this again.
I don't think we'd ever do it on purpose. So, are we ready to get off this boat? I mean, my God, I'd like to walk on land again.
You hear?
I was afraid you were going to say walk on water.
Behind
No,
you,
I'm not ready for
you
that.
hear, "Oh my God, what did you do to my boat?" And Brumblebottom rushes on. He goes, "I heard some bumps, but this wouldn't be unusual considering we're up the Tova River. But this is preposterous. Who did this?" As you guys are tying off the boat.
I point at the old man, his boat.
Well, of course you do.
So that's I will roll deception here for Brumblebottom. Hang
All
on.
right.
Because I'm an actor, I get a bonus. I get advantage on deception rolls.
Oh boy.
Alrighty. Oh, nice.
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 Brumblebottom gets like really steamed up as you were telling him. He's sweating more than usual. He's just red in the
but
face.
good news, Professor. He did agree that if you go over there, he'll be more than happy to talk this through with you reasonably. He promised me he'd be more than happy to pay for the damages. Just you go talk to him, but you know, be as reasonable as you can. No point in getting exercised. He's already admitted fault.
He goes, "Why?"
Rain is looking at
why,
Papa like you did.
I would if I could, but I am a distinguished man, and I don't deal with this kinds of peasant tricks and conversations of common folk. I have, you know, I was the top of my class at Bogwarts back in the Silver Spire, and as such, I refuse to.
All right, then I guess we'll just have to hope that buffs out.
He goes, "Well, this is coming out of your final payment, I'm telling you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is important. We need to establish our base of operations, our sanctum sanctorum, as one would say." And he points up, you know, with his little finger for emphasis. He goes, "They're undoubtedly inns and other lodgings suited to adventurers of our statue, I would expect nothing less than the finest accommodations that we can afford. Let us proceed to the port authorities, register a boat, pay the necessary taxes, tariffs, and fees, as one would say, and you should know that that kind of thing does happen. Surprise. And then I advise that we all, without breaking our party and without stopping for any silly reason whatsoever, proceed to evaluate and establish our bivouacking situation, as one might say. Do we have an
Literally
accord?
no one would ever say that.
Rain's
no
gonna
one
roll
would
her
really,
eyes
and
and
I actually, I would love to roll my eyes. I'd like to roll the captain. Because honestly, sir, we are not going to be bivouacking. To be absolutely blunt, we will find decent accommodations and we'll do it straight away. I don't need instructions on how to walk. Papa and Rain, let us find ourselves a suitable inn.
Well, first, we do got to get registered. We got to at least make them think we've paid our taxes. Now, give me a minute here. I am of a more free-spirited nature, maybe, than the Professor Bumblebutt here, but I suspect.
He goes, that's Brumblebottom. I come from a noble lineage of Brumblebottoms. My name is no laughing matter.
I understand that. That's. I beg your pardon. It was a slip of the tongue. All you dry skin names sound the same to me. So it's just a matter of give me a moment to explore right around the dockmaster's office. I believe I can procure us paperwork that's sufficient to prove we have already paid our taxes. We can go on our merry way, and that way, Professor, you don't have to worry about the cost of repairing the boat. That'll be much less than the taxes we would have had to pay if we docked here.
are you going to forge our documents, Papa?
I would never forge. I can barely read and write. I'll steal someone else's.
As you
Fair
say
and
that,
square.
as you say that, Brumblebottom kind of glares at you and goes, "There will be no thievery and no involvement with authorities. I'll have you know that we are a reputable operation, and I intend to remain as such. Is that clear?"
We're reputable?
We are?
Because of course we are. We
I'm
are
not.
now.
Well,
Nobody.
then, well, then
Because-
I say, Professor Brumblebottom, you are the one then who's going to be talking to the dockmaster and taking care of all the paperwork then.
All right. And with that, you go down to, slowly make your way through the line. You stand in line for what seems like forever or a couple of hours, whichever comes first, and finally arrive at the dockmaster's office. It is a large, sizable shack built upon the pier. It's got a big sign that it's like, the dockmaster's port authority. All it's missing is like abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
Rain's gonna roll her eyes and look at Brumblebottom and ask, "May I ask, where is Captain my love?"
He looks at you and goes, "Oh, that no good-for-nothing drunk is still passed out, mumbling something about lost love or some friends or whatnot. No doubt nursing the bottle. We'll just leave him there and he'll catch up. We'll send Twig to fetch him when he'll feel better, hopefully."
I mean, I did give him a bottle of moonshine because he seemed mighty sad.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, that much moonshine, I mean, I guess Twig should check on him tomorrow to see if he's not dead.
Well, I should say, especially given the state we were all rather in, we left the slop shack.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
It must be the memory of his losing his best friend.
Well, to that, Brumblebottom goes, quite. Of course, that's a likely story. We all have lost our friends. You don't see me boozing it up. We got an important expedition to mount. And with that, we're off. And so he pushes his way through and gets inside.
Rain's gonna cover her mouth slightly and look to the Baroness. He's had friends.
What stranger things have happened, my dear. Stranger things. So, I say, Papa, we must all register with this person before we come in. I'm not used to this kind of thing. I haven't been to this town before.
So Dryfoot is known for being a bit of a what's the nice way of saying this? A bit of a stick in the mud. And they are extremely rigid about their regulations. And I consider it a personal duty of mine to find a way to circumvent every single one I can. But sounds like Professor Bramblebottom is not himself game for that sort of tomfoolery and shenanigans.
Right.
I agree
Now,
with you there, Papa. I am not a fan of the law.
Now, I have been here a couple times before, and I've always managed to do it without actually getting any legal paperwork done on me. This is the first time that I have actually met the captain of the guard, though, and maybe she recognizes me now, which is not. It is never my goal to be recognized by the
That
law.
is not ideal for the situation we presume to be.
Oh, that's right. All right then. Oh dear. Well then.
And as you do that, you push through the door, and you hear right in the middle of the sentence of Bramblebottom's, he goes, "That is preposterous. I cannot imagine how high the tariffs and fees have gotten in the past year." And the pudgy, sort of balding man in an official-looking velvet coat that sits in behind the impressive desk in the big chair behind him, also one of the halflings. He looks at him and goes, "My good sir, I have never seen you here."
Oh, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Bramblebottom and esteemed sir, I beg your pardon. I am arriving a few minutes late. I apologize for my tardiness. I do understand we need to get ourselves registered here. Now, excuse me, sir. And I walk up, and of course I'm probably chin high to the desk.
Yes.
I walk up and I'm like, "Now, I do beg your pardon. And while I'm doing this, I am attempting to, God be kind to me. I am attempting to, I dropped the wrong thing. Hang on. Here we go. Okay. Very quietly, as I put my hand on the desk, actually I get a bonus I get advantage in my sleight of hand check when I'm doing this. Hang on. Because my skin is sticky, I am attempting to quietly lift a paper up off of his desk with my sticky skin. And so what I am doing here is trying to get one of the official documents one uses that are stamped and sealed and signed and whatever. But this one isn't filled out. I know that. That's okay, because the next thing I'm going to do is produce the paper, and I'm.
Can I do something with prestidigitation to create like a small firework illusion in the office to give him advantage and try and make a small distraction?
I mean, I'm doing, I hope, all right so far. But what I'm now going to attempt to do is, at this point now, I'm waving this paper around that I produced effectively from nowhere and say, "As you'll see here, sir, all of my paperwork is already in order, and that's going to be the bard spell suggestion. So I believe you can stamp this and let us on our way."
He kind of glances on it and goes, Of course. I see that your documents are all in order. Seeing how I believe you are also must be some sort of organizer of this particular group, considering your considerable skill of leadership and speaking very loudly. He kind of spits all over your face. At which point, Bramblebottom cringes, but like. It's like trying to say
I do
something.
apologize. My footman here is very enthusiastic, but he does sometimes get a little over-exercised. I do apologize.
Bramblebottom goes, "Why? Footman? What?"
Okay, then I'm also going to cast silence on him.
He goes,
He can see you casting the spell.
Yes, and he proceeds, like, you gesture towards him, and he proceeds, like, flapping his gums and getting redder and redder in the face, but nothing comes out. And the man kind of looks at you and goes, "Thank you, good sir. The sound of his voice reminded me of the wailings, so popular at the executions. Meanwhile..."
It reminds me of my ex-wife. Now, look, I do apologize. I'll leave a couple of gold pieces. I'll leave 3 and be like, for the noise he's made and the disruption he's caused, I am terribly sorry. I do hope that between my paperwork here and a little bit of gratuity for your patience and your kindness, that everything is good to go now.
He picks up a gold coin, completely blatantly bites into it and goes, "Yes, that seems like your credentials are all in order. And with that, I would like to remind you that the harbor fee and the registration fee are 8 gold per month, and due at entry to the city, please deposit your contribution towards the taxation to the right of me at the clerks. And there's like a little wooden box, like precariously built inside, where there's a little clerk.
Oh, yes.
The clerk is sitting there scribbling feverishly, and you're next in line, apparently.
All right. I showily... Oh, man. Okay. I showily drop the coins in one at a time while palming them. So you keep hearing a coin hit.
Uh-huh.
I put one coin in the box, but I go ahead and seem to have paid the full registration fee.
Yes. After that, he goes, thank you. With the entry fee comes a complimentary map of Dryfoot City, specifically designed for tourists and such and other esteemed and welcomed guests such as yourselves. Please be so sure as to pick up a complimentary copy right here to the left of me at the stand of periodicals. And he motions on the left, and you see a little rotating thing, like a little bin, as you would see, and in it there are folded out maps. One of them he picks up and hands to you, and it looks thus.
Ah, brilliant.
Wow.
Nice.
What a lovely map. Thank you very much, sir.
Indeed. Thank you.
It is my pleasure. It's your contributions as law-abiding taxpayers that help us to continue with such wondrous social programs as this here free map to all sorts of people that just roll into town every single day without as much as thank you, sir. And also, if you require any of the periodicals, the last week's newspaper is, of course, half price, and all of the new ones are at full cost, as it were. Please inquire the clerks should you would like to purchase any of the periodicals, as to keep yourselves abreast of all the things that are happening in our lovely city, the Southernwold, and about. Thank you. Enjoy your shopping at the Merchant's Crescent. And he motions you to the other door on the other side of the room, to basically go through.
Sure. My friends, I believe we'll be able to find these periodicals in the other shops, really, because they're all over the place. And I don't think we need to pay exorbitant prices for the, like the Bog and Door Bugle or whatever it's called. So I think that we should wait. I don't think we should buy things here. I bet they're at a premium.
Here's an advice from your neighborhood-friendly dungeon master. If you see the Dryfoot City map and would like to recall it swiftly, I would take the little red dragon to the left of its name in the title, and I would drag it down on the bottom where it says like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Those are macros. If you put something there, it will stay there forever. You can also recall it with a button press.
Mm-hmm.
So Fantasy Grounds crashed
important
on me.
Uh-huh.
Fantasy Grounds crashed on me, and now I can't join the game again because it says the username.
Yeah, I need to kick you out. And so now you're kicked out, and now you can come back.
Excellent.
Don't worry about it. Very soon they will have their Unity client that will have a native Mac client and Unix client as well. So everything will be fine.
Ah, that's so grand.
Indeed.
Asking as a person to someone who's actually in operation of the intelligentsia, is it possible that we'll find these periodicals elsewhere, as the Baroness has asked?
Usually newspapers in civilized cities are sold everywhere by paper boys on the corners. You can also pick them up at kiosks.
Brilliant.
You haven't been here, and where you're from, things are very different as they were in medieval times and fantasy worlds and whatnot. But it seems like you don't even need a roll to figure out that there'll be another place where you can pick it up.
All right. So good. Well, then, I think we should roll on and make a point once we can gather our beloved pawpaw again and take a walk outside. I'd like to see what the city is like.
I do dismiss the silence spell once we're outside the office.
Yes, and Brumblebottom, who has continued shouting, he's like, I say, this is an unfair and unjust treatment of your commanding officer. I must respond in kind, sir. I will be docking this from your pay.
Sure, I would notice that you owe me -12 gold pieces.
He goes, very well. Let us proceed to the accommodations. I have it on good authority that there is at least 3 establishments here that provide lodgings. I know nothing of them. It would behoove us to find which they are and what they are precisely.
Cool your jets here, Professor. Now, I do happen to have a map, but more efficient than that, as we are now here in Dockside. If you just give me a few minutes, I can find out everything about all the lodgings, great and small, that are available in town by asking one of the local women of negotiable virtue.
He looks at you and his eyes
wonder what you mean, my dear. Really?
Brumblebottom's eyes get as big as saucers, like super quickly, and he's like, I will pretend, good sir, that I did not hear you just say anything such, and that you will be going upon important business with reputable contacts from which you will procure the information about our lodgings post-haste.
I mean, that's the fancy way of saying I'm going to talk to a couple hookers and hear what's good. I'll be back.
He nearly chokes and like spits whatever drink.
Goodbye! I say, Rain, right around the corner from where we are, is the Dryfoot Exchange. I should like to take a look at that.
I will accompany you. But afterward, would you mind if we could perhaps see if we could find a library?
A library. Okay.
Library. I don't see one on the map, but do you think there is one here?
The intelligent, the quote-unquote educated such has rather exaggerated names for such things. Perhaps.
I don't know. If you do you have a copy of the map, my dear? We can look at the legend together, because we are just leaving the Darkmaster's office. There is the Crypt of Champions and the Eye of Hemel, which we will be definitely seeing, because Professor Brumblebottom is definitely here for that. Let's see. I say we should go to the let's ask at the Dryfoot Exchange. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds to me like that's a place to find things and information.
The Baroness and I will go to the exchange.
Well, before you do, as you come back, you have this little conversation, and you see Pawpaw strolling
You're
back.
going in and out, Jean.
I can't hear you, dear.
Oh, well, all right. Let's do this one more time. Better?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. So, as you have decided that what you're going to do, in spite of all possible reason, is to split the party and go somewhere you've never heard of before, as you're walking away to do that, you see.
It wasn't my idea to go off and talk to Herker. All right.
All right. I'm just the voice at the back of your head. Okay.
I'm just saying it's
And,
not as though he went anywhere we can follow. Catch my.
And you see Pawpaw strolling back. But before we bring
Papa
him
is
back
back
to
mighty fast.
yes, let's just explain to you where you are. This is a city of a building upon building upon building. It is sort of an island in the middle of uninhabitable, completely soggy swamp that people have basically clung to. It's a hill, needless to say. The people clung to desperately to establish a foothold of civilization. And oh my God, is it ever. It is like the never-ending bazaar of wonders. There is no two buildings are the same. They're all colorful and in spite of themselves in various states of being both built up and falling apart from disrepair. There is
We found
stuff
the Coney Island of D&D.
I live right across the street from it, so it's fairly accurate. And so in parts, it looks like a medieval European castle stronghold. In parts, it looks like something out of like the exotic Arabian bazaar. And you can find anything from a yak skin yurt all the way to like a cobblestone building right next to each other. And so it is insanely difficult to realize what's up and down, what's left and right, what's north and south. People are walking all over the place. They're hopping from boat to boat, quite often in spite of the occupants and rightful owners of this boat, shaking their fists and yelling at them. There are all sorts of savory and unsavory people. You will see somebody, in full-blown regalia of a highborn right next to, paupers and things. And so it is a bouquet of sights and sounds, aromas you have never even heard of. people doing anything from meticulously scraping every inch of their little land that they live on to pouring refuse straight out onto the street. And everything goes in this big spiral. Seems like there is a road that goes all the way around and kind of spiraling towards the middle. It is a hill after all. Let me reshare the map at the request of some of the people. And the map actually does have the markings as you see them. Everything that you have received and everything that you will show is, in fact, unless noted otherwise, in character. And so you see those things as they are and the markings on them as they are. And you can ask questions and I will give you answers, but not until you visit the places where you have the best idea. So anyhow.
Gene, did I get here already, or am
I
yes. Still in
yes.
transit?
Oh, yes. I'm so very sorry we forgot you. Right at that point, you see Twig just like careening at you, waving enthusiastically, because, he also made it. He's been waiting for you for a while.
Look who I found with the hookers.
Oh, hey guys, I was looking around for you everywhere. I thought you were here already, and I missed you, but did you just get in town?
Well, actually, we had rather a contretemps with the harbor master, but thanks to Pawpaw, we have things all straightened out. It's just magical and wonderful.
The line. I mean, I came on foot. I mean, I went, over the mail trail and, up through the swamps, and maybe we should have come on foot instead of, going by boat, because that looks like a long line out there.
It was awful, I must say, and it was unpleasant as well. So, yes, maybe next time. But I wonder if our feet are as capable of going through the bog as your feet.
Well, did you guys see any, turnip monsters outside? I was kind of worried for you guys, really.
Oh, you mean, oh, no, we got those jelly things, didn't we?
Oh.
I mean, yeah, we did find ourselves a couple of them, acid puddings. I would not recommend them as a dietary choice, but...
No, they were rather...
Pudding sounds kind of good. I could really go for some pudding.
No, these were like orange, spiky, taste like poison puddings. They just had the consistency of pudding, nothing delicious about it.
I've had some poison that's pretty good. I mean...
When you say taste like poison, that sounds like pretty good.
Touch.
I will never understand your taste. Well, maybe I will, but we shall have to eat together several times before I do get
All
you.
right. So, y'all,
I'm interested in going somewhere. Let's get off this
to get us all oriented.
Yes.
There are three places we can stay in town. There's the Champions Lodge, which is expensive and showy. There's the Warm Root Inn, which is cheap and crappy. And then all the ladies I talk to seem to enjoy the Half Inn, because that's about where they like their clients, as a place that kind of splits the difference between the two.
I'm not sure I care for your description, but I understand the business cost.
Perhaps the Half Inn would be the best option.
I completely agree, and it's nearby.
Bromblebottom looks at you and goes, "Well, that's fine intel. That's the great information. But I would like to sample all of the establishments before I make my choice. Thank you."
Well, you are welcome to Bramblebottom. You can find us at the
Absolutely.
inn later.
Yes.
Now, I would just note, Bramblebottom, before you go trickling off here, if you look at the map here, you might see that the Half Inn is the one closest to the center of the city, which means as our Sanctum Sanctorum, as our place to base our operations out of while we are here in the city. I might recommend that you just maybe agree this is the best place we can go and the simplest base of our operations.
He looks at you, and he looks at you again, and he goes, I would still like to visit the sites and of this fair city, but you seem to be making a uncommon amount of sense there, Pawpaw. I suppose we will check out this Half Inn first, but I tell you, if it's not up to my academic standards, and if it doesn't provide the most precise location for both our operations and most important note-taking and planning, then we will
Fine. Can we go, please? Tired of standing here. Can we just go?
Goes, oh, very well. And so off you go to the Half Inn. And on the way, as you're passing by, you're noticing all sorts of different and interesting things. There are, as you're walking by, now, if you look at the map, you would notice that you are somewhere in the neighborhood of that number 12, the 12 there. If you notice, there is, in fact, I will draw it so that you will know where it is. One moment, please. You have come in right here. This is maybe a little...
At number 1, right? We arrived at the
number
Dockmasters.
Yes, at the Dockmasters,
Yes.
correct.
Of course. Right.
Correct.
We've applied our massive intellect and figured that out.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I am so very glad that you have figured this one out without
You
any
know,
help.
actually, thank you
I've
so much.
solved your puzzle.
It's
Oh,
I actually think we-
wonderful.
Boy.
I like this map. This map is very well written out.
Yes.
And it's easy to use.
Yes.
Where are we?
Yes. You are
On the way
Yes,
to the
you're
exchange,
at-
Rain's going
yes.
to put her hand on the Baroness's shoulder and say, Saffron, you seem rather irritable this morning. Did you
Oh,
get
I'm
a night's
sorry.
rest?"
No, it was, everything that happened last night, and Captain Malove is out, and I miss him, and just, all those things. So sorry. And
Understandable.
Professor Brumblebottom, I apologize.
Is the captain okay? I mean,
He's
I'm like his number one fan.
he was. We were both in our cups last night. It was. I was joyfully, exuberantly winning a game, and we won a rapier and Captain Malove. Oh, it was all wonderful and great
I
fun,
miss
but it
all
ended
the
up.
fun.
It was drunken, and I have a hangover, and I'm so sorry. So anyway, I apologize. And Professor Brumblebottom, I assure you, we will find some place where you are comfortable and feel safe, secure, and able to do your work.
and
And I
as-
am behind you 100%.
Indeed. As you do that, you're walking down the long dock here, and you are proceeding all the way to the brown building at the end of the dock. As you turn the corner and follow into this street, you notice that there is a interesting thing there in the corner. It is one of those things that looks like almost like a little closet or a booth.
Mm-hmm.
I unfortunately don't have a picture prepared of it, but it looks like it's got a window on the top, like a big sort of microwave door kind of thing with a big lock. On the bottom there is a slot, quite obviously for depositing money, and a little horizontal slot for something else. And right on top of it, you see that it has a big sort of glowing inscription, quite literally of a magical sort of some kind. It reads slightly magical merchandise, and it glows like that, you know?
Oh my. That sounds compelling.
Yes. That's
Rain, do you see
that is
this?
basically it.
Yes, I do.
Do we
So
want to
when-
look at... Do we want to...
No, let's not stop. This is
All
going
right,
to be
all right,
on the
that's
way
right.
out.
All right.
We'll have more money when we're leaving, unless something horribly wrong. There's
Well,
the time to spend it.
Yes.
All right.
As you're walking by, you hear a lot of criers like, extra, extra, hear all about it, latest news from Boggendor, is our...
Oh, it's a...
Is our
it's-
mayor being poisoned by foreign dignitaries? Find out here, just for a few coins. And, you hear all of that. So you clearly understand that there's plenty of places to buy your newspapers and whatnot as you go by.
All right. Yeah. And
All
so
right,
on we go.
Twig will pull out a newspaper and he's like, oh, I already have a copy of the current issue if you guys want it.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank
I had a
you.
lot of time to kind of just walk around town. That's what I was talking about. The news is all about these they're calling them turnopes, I think. I don't know, but there was a taxidermist that got attacked.
Oh my.
He got a taxidermy?
Yeah, he got a taxidermied. It was. I mean, I didn't see it happen, but I'm always interested in strange creatures, and they're supposed to be kind of small, maybe, but I guess they're like living plants.
Oh, how interesting. I haven't heard of these.
And Twig pulls out a newspaper, kind of waves it in your face. And as you do see it, I'm going to make it maybe a tad too big, but I'm sure it's all good and you will definitely enjoy it. So he basically hands you one of these. You can read it at your leisure and resize it and do whatever the heck you want with it. But that is what he has.
Oh dear, that's terrible. Look at that.
I kind of want to find one and maybe see what makes it tick. Or I mean, it could also be kind of a cute pet, but kind of dangerous. But
Oh my.
I mean,
Yes,
I haven't actually seen people get attacked by them, but everybody seems kind of worried, or at least a few people are worried. I don't know if this tabloid really is reliable, though.
I wonder.
And with that, you make your way all the way down to the... By the way, you can also bookmark this. If you want anything, you can bookmark down in your little bar there for future reference. And
It's also worth noting to everybody, if you hold Shift or Control or Alt or any combination of them, you get more spots in your quick bar.
Oh, jolly good. Yes, indeed.
All right.
Thank you.
And so eventually you arrive at the little tidy building that has a big wooden sign over it that reads thus, half in. Okay? And as such, you notice that the building is a little smaller than you anticipated. Usually inns provide more accommodations and they're somewhat spacious. But entering the half inn can be a bit of a squeeze, quite literally. As you duck under the low door frame, you can clearly see that the inn is built for halflings, by halflings, and perhaps with halflings.
Looks fine to me.
Those who are of human height or taller have to stoop when inside, as the low ceilings don't accommodate anything higher than a halfling, really. The atmosphere, however, is very friendly and welcoming. The air filled with smoke and laughter. It's busy and bustling place, and you can smell decent food and actually very wholesome atmosphere. Halflings, gnomes, kobolds, and goblins, anyone short enough to fit through the door is found inside, and they're mingling about, either going, up to their rooms or eating lovely food prepared for them. You notice that many of the patrons have their pets and familiars right there with them, happily dining on the abundant scraps that fall off of the table. You even spot members of the guard having a jovial chat with the innkeeper, as an amateur bard tries out her latest material for a crowd who's quite clearly happy to listen to just about anything.
Now, that sounds like my kind of crowd.
Indeed.
Yeah.
As you look up prominently
Knock their
on the
socks
wall,
off.
you notice a very beautiful handwritten sign on a wooden board. It's very well decorated. It reads thus, and I will post that so that you will be able to see it. House rules. Wipe your feet. Good manners don't cost a penny. Don't bring trouble in with you. No oafs, loafs, or orcs.
Oh my, they're racist.
Yeah, I never understood that. I mean, like, orcs can talk, so they're like people, but you're supposed to treat them like monsters? I don't know.
I don't
like-
understand that at all.
I don't like
That's
these
not-
rules.
I'm not
I
fond
mean-
of that either.
I would just note, Ettins can talk like people, but they will also eat you if they can.
Well, yeah, but then there's people kill dragons all the time, and they're kind of nice.
I mean, I've
Or at
never
least
killed
they
a
can
dragon.
talk. Well, I don't know. I mean, don't you ever feel like if you left, have you ever been to Silver Spire or something? People look at us kind of weird.
Oh, trust me, you do not want to step foot in the Silver Spire.
And as you're thinking about it and talking, this little lady, she's maybe, about as tall as Papa, maybe a little shorter. She's plump and lively and has got a pink, friendly face. And she's carrying a big tray filled with drinks. She comes up and goes, "Oh, hello. It's lovely to see you. Are you coming here to stay at the inn?"
I would love to investigate your delightful abode. We do have particular specifications that are required by the professor here, but I'm sure you can accommodate if at perhaps a slightly lower head height than he's accustomed to.
You cast a glance at the professor, and he feels right at home. He's very, very happy. He is completely,
There you go. All right.
he's like smelling the air, and he's licking his lips, and he is sweating a little less than usual.
I'm
goes,
going to pull out my lyre and say, what are the rates for a traveling bardess?
Oh, she goes, my dear, first of all, my name is Hebby Weatherwain. I'm the proprietor and also the head waitress, also the cook, incidentally. And I would like to tell you everything you would like to know about our fine establishment. Now, I will be honest, it might be a little bit too tight of a squeeze for ladies and gentlemen of your stature, but with a little bit of inventive relocation of the objects, perhaps inside the rooms, we can get lovely accommodations for all of you. Now, let me tell you a little more about the inn. So, in our inn, it is 5 silver points that we require per week. It is pretty much 1 silver point per week, 2 silver points with meals, comes to about 5 on average is how much people like to stay. Would like to rent by the week because otherwise, the business is going to be too tough for us. We got a lovely menu for all of you to try. We serve a variety of delectables here, and she hands you a little menu that gives you the information about the drinks and the food. And she goes, the only rules are there is no carousing, there is no inviting the unsavory folk inside, no conducting of business unless otherwise have been cleared with me, so I will know to provide proper accommodations. We do have a small room for those kinds of things. And please, if you will, no loud noises, no bards, and otherwise any kind of loudness after the sundown, just for our patrons' sake.
No birds, you say?
She goes,
Now, just to be clear,
only after dark and if unsanctioned.
when you say no bards, like I'm allowed in, I just shouldn't be too loud.
Oh, well, yes, in your room after dark, unless there is some kind of performance going on downstairs, I would appreciate it if you would keep quiet. Just in consideration to the patrons.
I would just like to offer you, you've probably heard of me. My name is Pawpaw. I'm one of the...
she goes, oh my stars, you wouldn't say your name is Pawpaw Barley, wouldn't it?
That is indeed my name, madam, and I am the best performer you're likely to get in this lovely establishment anytime in the near future. No.
Oh my stars, Pawpaw, it is so lovely to see you. And she flings her tray somewhere to the side and she gives you a big hug, and she's like short even by your standards. She's like, I love your music. I only heard just a few things. Recordings are so hard to come by these days and the phonographs are so expensive. But from what I've heard, you got the sweetest voice. I'm just so happy that you're here.
Aw, shucks. No, keep going. I don't mind.
She goes, yes, you're absolutely lovely. We have so many fans of your music here. I am one of them. I would love for you to perform for me at some point. Well, not just for me. This would be selfish, but for everyone, perhaps that would be great.
I think we can arrange something. I imagine you'll do a pretty good take in the bar whenever I come play for you, particularly if we get some time to promote a bit beforehand. If we'll be here for a week, now let's say there's 5 of us right now. One of our members currently stuck on board our boat. He's feeling a bit under the weather, having consumed an entire bottle of Pawpaw's famous moonshine. Could we get lodgings for all of us here? Obviously, some of us are tall, dry-skinned, and some of us are, more appropriately sized.
She goes, oh, of course. I do believe that I have accommodations for all of you. Oops. It will be 5 silver per week, per person. Of course, unless you would like to do two per room, and then of course you'll share. But I wouldn't go more than 2. It seems like the rooms are a bit in the small size for the tall folks like you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I need my own room. That's fine.
She goes, oh, and please don't mind the critters. We're friendly to pets and familiars and the like, and I have no intention of changing the policy. So if you have the sniffles on the account of the fur, or if you just plain don't like the animals, well, then perhaps my inn is just not the one for you.
No, that's fine. I was hoping we'd be able to bring the professor in. So...
Rumblebottom goes in the corner.
No.
So I think that sounds great. One question here, ma'am. I do understand the paper prints on a weekly basis. If we were to, perhaps you and I, arrange to run an advertisement that the Pawpaw Farley will be playing all week, I imagine you and I can split the bar take on any night that I play. That seems like a pretty fair way to drum up some business and also help defray some of the costs of our staying here.
She goes, oh, that would be lovely. I would absolutely love to run an ad to the printer. They're a bit on the expensive side, but I'm sure we can work it out. We will probably go first thing tomorrow morning. I'm a bit busy today. Otherwise, I can help you make posters and post things outside for the folk that come in and out. We do have some irregulars that come in for some food and drink.
Let's do that. That sounds like it'll be a good way to pass us a little time this afternoon while we get ourselves tucked in.
She goes, oh, that's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Yes. And so that's it. That's all then. Would you like to stay, or are you still looking, or what's happening?
I think I'll stay here. This looks like a homey place for me. How about y'all?
It's a little tight, but I like all the animals.
I look at the Baroness. Perhaps the Champions Lodge or the Wormroot Inn would be better suited to our stature.
Perhaps I should like to take a few, if you don't mind.
What?
Yes, perhaps I should like to take a look with, if you don't mind.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I might want to stretch a little bit. It's kind of
so
my
why don't you
back's
come
kind of
with
right
us?
up against the ceiling. Yeah, but I want to come back for Papa's show. I mean, he's amazing. I really miss his music.
As you're saying this, you see that Hebby's expression just kind of gets a little soggier, and she's like, "Oh, I was ever so hoping that you would stay. Fine, tall folks like yourself, and lovely ladies and gentlemen, and it would be just so lovely for you to be here. I will let you know this. Now, I'm not the one to gossip or to spread rumors about my competitors, but
I'd love to hear some gossip.
As would I."
She goes, well, in that case, I tell you what. I hear that at the Wormroot Inn, they got all sorts of unsavories coming in and all sorts of shady business. And the Champions Lodge, haven't heard it from me, but they rip people off so badly.
I mean, now, let's be fair. You're not making the Wormroot Inn sound all that bad, but the Champions Lodge sounds right out.
She goes, oh, all this snooty folk coming in and out, and they don't really like the halflings out there. And, I mean, it's expensive, it's nice. Some champions come stay there for the big bog broth, but,
Champions? Wait, who? Are they, from, the big city?
She goes, oh, yes, dear, of course. They're usually sponsored, so...
I want to go right now. I get my autograph book out, and oh my God,
Drake, we'll go take a look.
You travel in the companionship of the second greatest champion in the Southern world.
It's true, and I'm grateful to be around all of you. But I mean, maybe there's some people I've seen before, like cheered on in the stands, and I could pick up some tips, and I'm already learning so much from you guys, and I'm just so excited. I could fill my whole autograph book.
Well, I guess go have a trip if y'all feel like it. I'm going to be here putting up posters for my show tonight.
I think that sounds like a brilliant idea.
We can even advertise the show on our way. We could tell everybody to go to the to Half Inn and see the Pawpaw show too. Do a little PR marketing.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So who is going where?
I'm staying here.
Sure.
I'm going to go to the Champions Lodge.
So am I.
Terrific. We're splitting the party already. I love it.
Well,
all right.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just not going to be useful to you guys.
Indeed. So, I believe everybody is going to the Champions Lodge then?
Yes, we're going to take a look at it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Twig would already be outside, looking through his book,
oh yeah, Silver Spear, and maybe there was
on the way there, Rain's going to duck into an alley and use Alter Self to make her look like a high elf.
Okay. So she does. As you come out, if you look at the map, you will notice my map of Dryfoot City, somewhere here. Yeah, there it is. That the Champions Lodge is located not very far from here. It is, in fact, if you go down from the Half Inn, you can take the right or the left alley, and you will pretty much arrive where you are.
Okay.
As you walk... Okay. Is that what we're doing? We're doing.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
That's
great.
where
tell
we're going.
Would you
Yes,
tell us
indeed.
that you changed your appearance, or would you just kind of like come out as a stranger?
I'm going to do it in front of the two of you, and I'm going to say, this spell does not last long, so I would advise that we make our trip in and out.
All right.
We shall be
And with
quite
that, I will request a brief moment to take a very quick break, as I need to attend to a quick thing here. But we will return momentarily. One moment.
Alrighty.
You feel free to continue with whatever conversations you need to have as I am away from the desk, but I will be back in a moment.
Okay.
Jolly good. Well, I nearly set my desk on fire by accident. I moved something.
What
I
the
had a
heck did you do?
I have a candle, or I had a candle going here, a scented candle, and I moved some papers and apparently put a receipt right into the flame. It has never happened before. And so I'm busy listening and chatting with you all. And suddenly I look to my left and there is a fire in this little metal thing. And so I was able to pick it up and blow it out. But I said on Discord, I will BRB. And what I was doing was,
oh God, that was it?
that was it.
I thought you were surprisingly chill, given that your desk was on fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was that putting you in the mood for like cooking fish? Like you're like, I can smell the burning.
Let me tell you, we would have been better off using that than what we had, I think. I'm sorry to say.
Hey, I did what I could. We're trying not to set the boat on
absolutely
fire.
did. I know. At least you didn't. But oh my gosh, I didn't set the curtains on fire or anything else. No, I'm a bit brainless today because we had a funeral for a pet today, so I'm on limited brain waves. So that's part of where my
110% understandable, dear. I don't know what happened to my babies.
Yeah. Well, I know what happened to this guy, and he had a very old kitty and had a fairly long and then suddenly abrupt decline, and so it was okay because I was able to care for him, but he was a mighty warrior, and I'm going to miss him a great deal. And we had a formal funeral for him and we did drumming and shouting to the heavens like the Klingons.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
So he was a tough guy.
Oh, he was the greatest. He was Chance Malance, the king of town. He was in charge of every dog and cat on this side of town.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, and he was wonderful. I mean, he wasn't just a brute. If If I babysat my friend's child, he would let her use him as a pillow.
Oh,
cute.
Yeah, it was very
okay.
Sweet guy.
Yes. So let's go. Yes, I'm so eager to see this place. Even though our friend at the Half Inn told us to watch out for ripping off, that kind of stuff always amuses me a great deal when people try to inflate their value. So let's take a look. I can't wait.
I don't have that much money left. I mean, I have maybe 10 gold pieces, but that should be enough, right? I don't think they're gonna rip us off that bad.
We've each got we've each got 50 because we've been paid by the professor. I need to ask someone where the professor is. Did he stay?
He stayed at the Half Inn.
All right.
Yeah, he's a
jolly
papa.
good. All right, that's fantastic. All right, well, we told people to take a look over at the fantastic Champions Lodge, and I'm curious to see how much it costs. I'm already amused.
Mm-hmm.
Could you run that by me again? I'm so sorry. I was distracted by something going by. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. we're back. Everything is fine. We will pretend that the last 5 minutes didn't happen, but everybody is going down to the Champions Lodge, and Professor
Yes.
Brumblebottom have stayed back at the inn, with Papa being happy as a pig in pig stuff, I guess.
Yes.
Being happy there. And as you turn around, you turn the corner, and as your back turns towards the row of various buildings, from a particularly small shop, you feel this wafting, beautiful, sweet aroma, which Baroness will describe as, what does it smell like?
Oh, it's like one of those. It's like the thing that you smell when you open, like when you keep a sachet or a treasure in your beautiful bureau drawer for years. And you leave it in there, and it's beautiful, and it has this wonderful kind of musky smell to it. And then you open it up after years have gone by, and it has this magnificent aroma that smells a little bit like pine, like a holiday tree that some people have. And it also smells like resin, and a little bit of a very sharp flower smell. It's just the most evocative thing. It makes you remember what it was like to be a child.
It is important to note that it smells nothing like that to any one of you. That is not the Baroness. In fact, every single one of you has a particular fragrance that is familiar, dear, and absolutely wonderful to them. And as you do, it reminds you of your childhood, of the wonderful time you spent somewhere, perhaps of a long lost love. And as you gaze longingly towards the origin of your smell, you see a quaint little sign over the little door that says simply "Rituals."
Oh.
And in the windows of the shop, you see various potions and unguents and all kinds of lotions and things in beautiful decorative bottles. You see a slender elven woman tending to some stock on the shelves through the window, and that's basically all that happens. It's just a little exposition as you do. And then you turn around and you look at the Champions Lodge, and you are immediately taken back in by its splendor. It is not, it's like you came to the steps of a some kind of Greco-Roman building. It is beautiful. There is a colonnade in the front. It is clean as a whistle in all of this hodgepodge, crazy conglomeration of buildings and things and stuff and colorful people. This looks like something out of beautiful, clean, pristine fantasy fairy tale, and it is wonderful. There's a doorman in a cap standing in front of the door, and to the left of you is a little one of those booths in pristine condition with brass corners shining that has a little sign on top of it that says slightly magical merchandise. There's one right next to it that says periodicals, and it's just this beautiful stuff. There is clearly somebody like a gardener sweeping and another one tending to the bushes, and it smells wonderful because it's right across the street from Rituals, of course, so why wouldn't you have the best possible smell in town? There isn't a single sign of refuse being dumped in the street, and it looks great. And as you come by, you gently turn to the side and you see a figure standing kind of like leaning against the side of the booth. And this figure is heavily armor-clad and is carrying a rose. There is a shine from where the collarbone is that looks like a beautiful brooch or something, or a glowing little firefly that you have seen in Boggendor, but really beautiful and pink and wonderful. He's got a big mane of pink hair and everything like that. And as you do, he kind of looks at you and he takes the rose as if he's, taking it from their teeth, and kind of waves at you with his hand. And you hear the voice that goes,
"Hello, ladies. It is lovely to see you today."
Well, hello to you. Oh, my. Oh, Rain, I'm quite smitten.
He comes up and he immediately forgets about everyone and extends his hand to the Baroness and takes the Baroness's hand, and before she can do anything at all, he proceeds to pretend that he's kissing the hand, but of course it's just a full-plated helm without an opening bigger than a hole, and you hear him go,
"Oh, I'm just so delighted to see you. You are a charming beauty. Your vision. Let me just tell you, even understanding that you must be a passing from a distant land and coming here after a long journey, even in your, some might say, less than draggled state. To me, you are a beauty, and I am humbled by your presence. I am Emric Orion, your humble servant. I would love to see you again someday, and I hope that our paths will cross again.
And he does this elaborate bow in front of you, and he takes his flower and he hands it to you.
Oh,
and he goes,
Then perhaps you wouldn't
you
mind.
can accept this humble rose as a remembrance of me on this auspicious occasion, and I hope it will remind you of me, and our paths will cross again. I must sadly depart, as I have pressing business at the mayor's in the mayor's home, at the mayor's office at the moment. But perhaps we will run into each other again. I assume a lady of your charm and stature is staying here at this fine establishment, do you not?
we are certainly planning to. Thank you ever so much, indeed.
Perhaps you would mind showing the lady your face to better remember you by, soldier.
He gives you a look of what you can only tell is embarrassment, because unfortunately you just can't see any facial features, just glowing brilliant blue behind where the eyes are, and goes,
Oh, my dear, it is presumptuous of me to reveal myself on a first occasion, but perhaps later, in a better setting, when we're more acquainted, and it is more proper. Would it not be a better way to get acquainted then?
I can't wait to see you again, really.
goes,
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. I must depart now, but we will see each other very soon. I am absolutely certain.
Is he like a well-known adventurer? Would he like be somebody who would be known in like the arena circuit?
So that you can get his
Well.
autograph?
Yeah.
Well, that's a very good question. And to answer this question, one moment, I will need to go here, where we have Twig, Firefly, Mossfoot. Yep.
Do you want to do like a history check or something? Or
No. 1 moment. I'm trying to understand why I can't do a thing. Give me just one brief second, so I can.
I'm gonna perform a little insight check and see if this guy isn't a con artist.
Yes,
I should probably
you
do
absolutely do that. Yes, you absolutely should do that, and you do that, and yes, and why not?
I got a 17.
He's not. He seems to be 100% genuine. He's just
Okay.
pleasant and charming and schmoozy and kind of, a little hokey, but in the best possible way, as one would imagine.
Oh my.
Yeah, Rain's giving him like the 3rd degree, making sure like you just seem a little too sweet.
Twig would probably be behind both of them, like sweating and kind of like rubbing his hands on his coat, like trying to work up the courage just to like talk to him, like he's wants to say something really bad. He's got his book in his hand, but he's like kind of trembling a little bit.
Fanboy intensifies.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it possible that I see that he is
Oh, jeez.
Is it possible for me to see that Twig is kind of enamored of this fellow in a different way that I am, and I could actually approach this fellow to ask him if he's famous for a sport?
You most certainly can. I mean, you can interact with an NPC who have not left yet, so...
Do I need to roll anything?
No, you can just talk.
Okay. My dear fellow, I must ask you, are you someone who before you go, I don't mean to keep you, are you someone who regularly, appears at the arena?
He looks at you and he kind of does this elaborate bow with a flourish, and there's a little twinkle that happens right next to where his eyes are, and he goes,
Oh, my dear, I am so sorry. I usually don't like to toot my own horn. It is so unbecoming of a gentleman. But as I mentioned, my name is Emric Orion, and I'm so presumptuous to believe that you would immediately know who I am. But I am indeed the champion 2 years ago from the Bog Broth Arena, right after the unfortunate retirement of Captain Malav and the odd disappearance of Quint the Quick, who bested him, as you know. But I am indeed he, and I am here because of... Oh, but I said too much. Let this be a surprise for you, when you will discover later. For now, let's just say that I don't really enjoy the accolades as much as I think they've deserved. So
Oh, do you know? If you'll pardon me for just a moment, and I appreciate your gentle nature and not wanting to seem overly grand, but may I ask you a favor, please?
anything, my dear, anything for you, of course.
My friend here, my friend Twig, is really quite a lover of your sport, and I was wondering if you could sign his book for him. Would you mind?
I just
Oh,
thrust
it
it
would
out in
be
front of
my
me, don't say
absolute
anything.
pleasure to sign for such a lovely and dedicated fan.
And he
And then like a
Oh,
dam
and
burst
he
in.
is.
goes-
He totally is.
And I saw you on the thing, or you were in the arena, and I had my bow and I was with the Junior Adventures League, and we were all talking about.
like go long.
Yes, Twig
string of,
immediately remembers Emmerich Orion. He just couldn't recall him because apparently, the pictures show him in a slightly different way. But yes, he's a famous champion. He is very flashy and cavalier, as you can tell, and everything like that. And
he probably
he's
gets some
fond
details wrong, like he doesn't actually
Yes.
remember him specifically, but he like that time you killed that giant Etten, and it's like he didn't fight that guy, like it was somebody else,
Yes, and basically, so he reaches out and grabs the notepad from him and goes,
Oh, I do believe I have had a pen and an ink bottle somewhere here.
and he kind of jingles behind his armor. You don't even know where, and he produces indeed a pen and an inkwell, and he kind of dips it in, and then he scribbles up, to my greatest fan. He goes,
What was your name again? Twig,
Firefly,
heavy hand,
Twig
something.
Mossfoot.
Oh, Mossfoot, yes, of course.
and he says, to my biggest fan, Twig Mossfoot, from Emmerich Orion, who one day hopes he will be as enthusiastic and lively as you are.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you.
Meanwhile,
to my
Baroness, you now have in your inventory one flower called Forget-Me-Not. If you will open up that card, you will also notice that unfortunately it doesn't have anything written in it because I've forgotten, but there is a link you can click to see a little card that will give you all the information you need to know.
All right, I'm looking, and I actually don't know how to open it. I see it. Do I need to? What do I do? Oh, there it is. Ta-da! It's a wondrous item. That's wonderful. Thank you.
All right. And
What does it do?
And with that, he bows and leaves.
Oh, well, I hope to see you later. Oh, dear.
He waves at you and you hear the clanking of the armor.
Ah,
Thanks,
what a fellow.
Saffron. Thanks a lot. That means a lot to me.
I
Great time
know
talking
it
to
does.
people.
Let's see, for as long as Rose is alive, it will grant the person who's received it, as a gift, a detailed and present recollection of the moment it was given. Oh, my! That's so wonderful. It makes me feel like a girl again. That's so wonderful. So here's the thing. May I, Jean, may I read the description
Of
out
course.
loud?
In fact, I'll do you one better. Here.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, did you share it with everyone?
Yep.
Oh, how wonderful. Isn't it wonderful? I'm just so happy.
Yeah, that's cute.
Ah.
That's probably worth a lot of money in the future.
Oh,
especially
it's
if
just
it's
no.
famous.
As long as it stays alive, it's a perfect memory of the person who gives it.
yeah.
It's just so. Oh,
And as
what
you
a
take
wonderful thing.
as you take a whiff of the rose, Baroness, somewhere near your ear, you hear a lovely little ding spring melody and the voice of an entirely enthusiastic young girl, like so enthusiastic that you think if you could see her and she would smile, she would pop. It says, "Thank you for sampling a wondrous item from the private collection sold exclusively at Rituals. Your space for most romantic and thoughtful gifts one could possibly imagine. Rituals, we've got the best stuff." Bing, and it disappears. Just way happy, so happy that it just kills you.
Oh my!
That's a little suckeringly sweet, isn't it?
I'm afraid it is, but Rain, I must say, for as much as I don't like to have a commercial go along with a gift, this is really remarkably lovely.
Indeed
I
it
want to-
is.
I want to smell it again.
And you do.
I too. It's so wonderful. And wasn't he handsome?
He was. I mean, I wish one day I could be as handsome as him.
The time is ticking on my transformation.
Righto. Let's go in.
All right.
Let's go in.
All right. And you walk away from the wonders and smells of rituals straight into the Champion's Lodge. As you enter the grand and imposing building that is the Champion's Lodge, the first thing that strikes you is the opulence. Plush patterned rugs, gilded frames with portraits depicting famous adventurers, ornate chairs with luxurious velvet cushions, and delicious waft of fine food and 5 wine floats in the air. You can clearly tell that the rates will be high, but the finery around you suggests that it might be worth it.
It rather reminds me of home.
As you survey your surroundings, you spy the most unusual sight, as plates and glasses appear from behind the bar and float to and from the patrons' tables as if by magic.
Glass.
Oh my! It's almost like ghosts of... Look at that. I say, Rain, can you see who is delivering that, or is it all magic?
I would assume there is a team of unseen servants. It is a spell.
And as you do that, you hear behind you, and you turn around, and you see this gentleman.
Hello?
It goes, "Good
I hope it's
evening,
Lumiere. It's
ladies
Lumiere.
and gentlemen. It is a delight to see you in our establishment here today.
Are you
How
a sea
may I
servant?
serve you?" He goes, "I'm sorry, my friend. I am quite presently seen. I could perhaps make myself invisible, but that would be impolite in light of all the esteemed guests and yourselves, of course, who are here with us tonight. My name is
Ring
Don.
will do a short courtesy. Quite, my good sir. I hear the elusive sea temptress has been spotted in these parts, and my companions and I are in town hoping to get a glimpse.
He goes, the temptress herself. Oh, this will be such a grand pleasure. My name is Donson Belsby. I am the maitre d' here at the establishment, and I will... And as you see him, you notice that he pulls out a golden monocle with a brilliant, clear lens, like so clean as you have never seen on a glass or crystal for a very long time. It gleams in the air. And he fashions it in the eye and goes, and he stares at you, kind of like gives you a once over, head to toe, kind of like walks around, goes, well, he goes, I see at least a couple of you could stay with us easily. For the rest, I must be so humble and unfortunately blunt as to say that it may not be, how should I put it, affordable.
Well, why don't you tell us what affordable means, dear?
He goes, oh, madam, of course. Allow me to alert you to the menu here, and also to the pricing of our establishment, should you like to keep your lodgings here. It is 5 gold pieces a week. We have a complimentary continental breakfast on Mondays and Fridays to celebrate the beginning and ending of the week, and then we have a lovely menu with exquisite cuisine prepared by an in-house chef for all of you to enjoy. Will you be staying with us for a month, perhaps? Perhaps longer?
Well, we'll be staying with you for a week, and I tell you, Firefly, my dear, don't you worry a bit about how much it costs to stay here.
We could live like real champions.
Well, I'm telling you, my dear boy, this is the place where you can stretch out. So I will absolutely 100% cover your accommodation.
Oh, I mean, I have 5 gold. I mean, it
darling, please, I won't hear of it. Yes,
my good sir. Just asking for an acquaintance of ours that is not yet present. If they were to perform at such an establishment, would that affect the rates of the gold per week?
He goes, oh, bards are absolutely welcome to apply for performances here. You have to understand that you have to display a particular flair in addition to talent, because in this establishment, only the finest perform, I assure you. And I sincerely hope and I hope I'm not too blunt here, and he kind of leans over and puts his head to the side to sort of whisper, goes, we do not really like to hear from the buckets. A bit of a rustic kind of charm that is not really meshing well with this particularly fine establishment. The smell lingers, and in general is just not good for
Do I
business.
overhear him, or is he like just like speaking in her ear?
Oh no, he's being very, very obvious about
And
it.
I would kind of like dust off my clothes and kind of hunch over 4 feet tall and just kind of like smelling my own breath in my palm, you know?
Yeah, and as he says that, you look around, surely not a single boggart in sight, not even the servants. Everyone's either an elf, half elf, some kind of something else, or a human.
My fireflies do like an embarrassment dance.
So I look at him. So if the Temptress were to arrive, you would welcome her performance?
He goes, oh, yes, remind me again. My memory is a bit hazy with all of the business and preparations for the coming gala, for which we'll be hosting, of course, the most esteemed champ.
Yes.
You're going in and out, Jean.
Am I?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, weird. He goes, oh, would you please remind me, my dear lady, whom you speak of? I obviously know all about the Temptress, but it's been a busy week, what with preparing to the Lord Redding's gala and us hosting such esteemed champions here at the lodge that I must have forgotten. Who was she again?
She's a bit of a local mystery recently. She's only performed in small towns up to this point, but rumor has it she has a plans to debut in the city.
He goes, well, I don't particularly recall anybody putting in an application for performance here. Are you sure that, are you perhaps her agent? How are you associated with the Temptress, and when we should expect her? What would you say?
I snap my fingers and drop the illusion. Consider this my application.
He goes, oh, well, that's certainly startling and unusual development. I hope I didn't address you by a title that doesn't befit your stature. Would you pardon me if I were to inquire as to how should I refer to you?
This, refer to me simply as the Sea Temptress would be very applicable.
Oh, Lady Temptress, it is a pleasure to see you in our establishment. I must confess I have never heard of you, but judging by your dashing, stunning looks and your charming ways, you must certainly be of good standings and great talent. It will be my personal pleasure to audition your talents and to look over your application for performance. He produces from the inside of his pocket some forms that he hands you. Please fill those out and drop them by the office. He puts his hand over there, and you see like the office of the maitre d', on the door. Very, very beautiful door, plush thing with a shiny brass, plate. He goes, in after hours, I take office there for until about 9-10 p.m. Though we stay open for all hours, I must be in top shape for all of our patrons. So unfortunately, the office does close at 10. So, my dear friends, will you be staying here with us?
I must ask you a question.
Oh, anything, certainly.
Yes.
Madam, if you will excuse me, how should I address you?
You may address me as Baroness.
Because, oh, what a pleasure, Baroness, of course. And he does a very nice courtesy, a nice bow.
Indeed, yes, that's very nice. I am Baroness Saffron Rothschild.
Oh,
and
he goes, the Prideland Rothschilds.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, such a pleasure, madam.
The pleasure is mine. Now, let me ask you a question, Mr. Belsby.
Oh, yes, of course, madam.
You mentioned something about enjoying the company of boggarts here.
Oh, we rather don't, madam. We make exceptions here and there for servants and such, as our clients may have particular proclivities, but in general, this is a boggart-free establishment. I hope you will find that to your liking instead.
I absolutely don't find that to my liking. Because I will have you know that this young man, directly to my right, is my friend.
I mean, I could maybe sleep outside or something.
Twig, stop it, please. I won't have it. Mr. Belsby.
Yes, madam.
As much as I admire your beautiful establishment, and I appreciate your courtesies such as they are, if my friend is not welcome in this place as much as I am, we will not be staying. And not only that, but I shall tell everyone in my family and the families we are related to, if you understand what I mean, that this place is not fit for proper people. Rain, Twig, we're leaving. That's it.
My good sir, if I
Oh,
also may-
madam. Of course. This is clearly a misunderstanding. When I said we try not to have boggarts around, I mean, I meant to say that we try not to discriminate against boggarts, as some may do. Of course, as he is a friend of yours, and
He's my companion.
oh
I
yes,
promise I'm not a monster, and I won't rob you or anything. I mean, I know some.
Firefly, please. You are my friend, and you are absolutely standing straight beside me. Now listen to me, Mr. Belsby.
yes, madam.
I want you to understand something, that your discriminatory business is not to anyone's liking in my party, nor in anyone in my family. And it would not behoove you to behave in this way ever again. So I recommend to you that you give us the best accommodations that you have, that you treat my friend Firefly as you would my brother Sage, understand? And that from here on in, you treat boggarts in the same way that you would treat a human or an elf or anyone else of our stature. Do I make myself clear?
So abundantly, madam. I of course will absolutely change my ways. This is a compelling and a marvelous speech. You have convinced me entirely that boggarts are lovely and wonderful people, and of course your companion is absolutely welcome to stay here.
That is good to hear.
Snaps to Saffron when your IRL skills beat the dice.
Yeah. My little fireflies would be doing like an admiration dance like behind Saffron's head, you know?
Yep. The dice can go to hell. Mr. Belsby.
Yes,
Mr.
madam.
Belsby, I wish to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for having the frame of mind to understand that people are people and that good people are good people. We would be happy to stay in your establishment. If you could find rooms for us, that would be fine.
Because, oh, of course, my dear Baroness, we have lovely rooms for you. We will have them prepared post haste. He goes and snaps his fingers, and the bellboy appears, and he's like, now, Mallory, please fetch the Baroness's things and her friends, of course, and bring them to the finest accommodations on our third floor to the left of the main stairwell. And the boy goes, yes, of course, sir. And he takes all the things and, he starts bustling them upstairs. He goes, please, let us proceed down to the register to settle the accounts for the coming weeks. We can
Very well.
I can dispense with the keys, and you follow him down to this nice little stand which he gets behind, and he takes out a little feathered pen and everything. Of course, would you please list the names of you and the companions staying here?
All right, then. Let me ask my traveling companions a question. Rain, did you wish to have your own room, or would you like to room with me?
I believe I can afford my own, but thank you kindly for your generosity, Baroness.
Yes, indeed. All right. So we shall have 3 rooms then. And I am the Baroness Saffron with 2 Fs, Saffron Rothschild.
He goes, Saffron Rothschild. Of course, madam. He writes the names down.
Righto. And to you, Rain.
Yes?
I will simply go by my alias.
Which is, madam?
The Sea Temptress, of course.
He goes, oh, of course, yes. The Sea Temptress. Yes, indeed. And the young boggart.
I'm Twig Mossfoot, but I'm of the Spire Scouts, and I don't know if that goes with my name, but
It's all right. No, darling. It's okay. It's Twig Mossfoot.
Twig.
He should like him. Yes.
Moss. Is that 2 S's and 3 F's,
It's,
or?
F-U-T, not F-O-O-T, not like a but like foot. I mean, because like that would be gross, like a moss foot. I promise, I'll try to change your of buggers. I'm pretty clean.
Oh,
You're
quite
wonderful.
right. There you are. That'll be. Would this be? Will we be staying with meals or without, madam?
Yes, I think we should, don't you, my friends? Make sure we have breakfast here.
And I'll have my
Right.
coin purse out. I'll have my money, and I'll be like trying to hand Saffron like 10 gold pieces or just whatever, just like a wad of money, like just
Twig.
all of my money.
Twig, I'll tell you what. You can buy me a present somewhere along the line this week if you feel like it. If I see
Oh,
something
yeah,
that I
yeah,
particularly
of
like,
course.
you can do that for me. But otherwise, Mr. Belsby,
Yes, madam.
I shall be covering my room for a week as well as my friend Twig's.
Oh, lovely. So it will be 7 gold pieces per week per occupant.
I thought I said
Was
5.
it? I thought you said. Now, am I mistaken? Is 7 with breakfast? Is that-
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, that includes
Okay.
the 2 gold pieces for the meals.
I
As you have
understand,
just
absolutely.
indicated.
You see, yes, Twig. It's because we're going to be having breakfast here every morning.
Oh, this
You
is
can
really
have any-
exciting. I've never
It
been
is
to a place
absolutely.
this
You can have
nice.
anything you want. I'll tell you about it later. The other thing, Mr. Belsby, here are your 14 gold pieces.
Oh, right, madam. He takes it very carefully and he doesn't even look at them. He just takes them and puts them in a little box. They all go jingling somewhere inside of the thing and off and away. He
Yes,
writes
indeed.
you in a flourish, like he'd done it a million times. He writes out a receipt for you. It's on a nice form that says, Champions Lodge, and for all the accommodations. There are also room assignments, a little map that shows you how to get to your rooms, and he hands you your keys. For
right.
each of the rooms, there are 3, 1 golden key and 2 silver keys. He goes, madam, for you is this large key over here, and it's the one that's gilded, and for your companions, the other 2. I hope you will find your stay here delightful. The entertainment is provided nightly. The food can be purchased down here in our dining hall. He gestures towards it. He goes, and as always, if you need anything at all, madam, all you have to do is just to ring the bell in your room, and I will immediately accommodate all of your needs.
Thank you ever so much. I appreciate your courtesy immensely.
He bows and goes, and if you will excuse me now, I have some things to attend, but let me just leave you with this. As the esteemed guest of our hotel, I will tell you this juicy little bit of gossip. We will have real, actual champions present here, and there'll be plenty of opportunity to mingle with some of the greatest champions that the Suddenwald have ever seen in the preparation of something secret I can't really talk about, which could be...
It's all right because I've actually already met some, so I'm winking at you now because I understand what you mean.
Yes, and you haven't heard it from me, but there may be a wonderful gala planned by one of the ambassadors here in just a couple of weeks' time.
Oh, I see. All right, rather then. All right, good
I
to
am
know.
certain.
Thank you.
I'm certain that you will receive an invitation. Of course, the lady of your stature, but just in case you
Thank
don't, you know where to go to be invited.
Indeed, thank you ever so much, and I hope you have a good evening. Thank you.
Oh, you too. And he pops his monocle out, and he very gently and carefully puts it in his little pocket, and he walks off to do his business. And there you are.
Fantastic.
Oh my God,
Let's
this is
go
so
to our room.
exciting. Thanks. This is really cool.
Come here, you two. I want to talk to you before, as we go up to our... Actually, you know what? Let's go to our accommodations and check out our rooms, and then I want you both to come into my room right away.
You got it.
All right?
All right.
And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go up to our
Settle in
rooms.
a little bit.
I
Yes.
take my large key, I put my things where they belong, and then I wait for my friends to show up.
Indeed. The room is opulent. It has a little ice chest with, when you look at it, it says incidentals on it. There's a big queen-size bed with a canopy on top. There's actually 2 rooms. One of them is the main room. The other one is more like a dressing room, powder room. You have your private bathrooms in them. That is something that doesn't really happen because usually toilet is outside. And they have little enchanted lights that when you come in, they just kind of ping and they all spring up to light and then give you a nice illumination. There's beautiful.
Jumping on the bed. I'm looking for mints to eat. I'm putting a robe around me. Like there's like flippers,
Yes, robes for everyone. Those little towels and things.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a mint on your
100%.
pillow, whole 9 yards. It's lovely.
Yeah, it is. It's just like home, to tell you the truth. But I'm waiting for my friends to come back in. I
Yeah,
have
shove it
something
really
to talk
quickly.
to them about.
All right.
So-
Meanwhile, let me jump into a scene with Papa here real quick.
Yes.
Papa, you have managed to have to put up makeshift posters all over to your liking. You can describe to us what they say and what they are if you so choose to. But basically, while they're doing that, Brumblebottom also enthusiastically helps you, and he's just over the moon with the place. He's very happy, and for you, you have lovely rooms. You are paying 1 silver piece a week, 2 with meals.
It was we're paying 5 total.
Yes, 5 total. If you would like, you can add 2 silver pieces for the week, and then you will have your meals provided as well.
Sure, that's cheaper than eating rations. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And after a while, you talk and you sort of mingle. You gather that the Champions Lodge is just down the street. It's no big deal. You can catch up with your friends, and at this point, you're free to do whatever it is you want to do.
So because I think it's worth explaining the posters. 1 week only. Nearly sold out. Appearance by the phenomenal folk singer Pawpaw Farley. Lists like 8 or 9 different songs he's famous for.
Sure.
The Devil in the Bayou, the Wet Foot Boogie.
I do hope that in between this and next game, you will be so kind as to write down a few of those, so I will know.
I can't wait.
I do. What's the other one I'm working on? I was working on
Not so much the songs themselves, but the names. I mean, obviously,
Right,
I wouldn't presume. But
I was also working on Boggandor Blues, and Boggandor Blues is one of them as well. And so I have the Boggandor Blues actually mostly written, song and lyrics.
terrific.
So all of this there's a somewhat lopsided illustration of the Devil's Lute, because Papa is not an artist in that sense. He's an artist in the musical sense. And what he tried to do was kind of draw the circle of the banjo head. It looks rather egg-shaped, which is odd. So it appears to be more of a lute than I guess a banjo actually is. And, attendance is free. Drink all you want, parentheses, but that's not free. And, get yourself down to half N. It won't be half fun. It will be all fun. That's your poster.
Terrific. And this, of course, goes out to the printers as well. I would imagine Hebby would take down all of that. If you will, in your downtime, in your free time, like to write that down and also send that to me, I would appreciate that, because this may indeed take it into the periodicals, which, by the way, I also sold at the inn if you ever want to look at them. And with that, you basically are left to your own devices. You can come rejoin your friends, do some other things. Brumblebottom looks at you when this is all done, and he helps. He actually earnestly helps, because he's just, he wants, I don't know what his deal is, but he's surprisingly just warmer being there among his people. And he looks at you and he goes, my dear Papa, I have some business to attend to. I've just received a bit of important information here. And you notice that he is, well, obviously conversing with people you wouldn't keep track of. He goes, but I must be off to a couple of places, one of which is the Temple of Hemel, up on top of the hill. I would not presume you have any interest to come with me, but if you do, please don't. It is just a little bit of business for me. And as you know, sorry,
well,
so many voices for characters.
Professor, let me just ask you, Professor.
Yes, Papa.
How likely are you going to have to talk to anybody?
Goes, well, that's very likely indeed, my friend. I intend to gather intelligence.
Would you like somebody who has a natural talent as to it, opposed to whatever it is you've got?
He goes, I have you know that I was the top debater and one of the 3 top orators at Bogwarts. There was no one who'd out-argue me, I'll have you know. But if you must impose yourself upon this particular venture, I would not say no out of my respect for your enormous talent.
That's mighty kind of you. How about this? I will come with you to help smooth the way before you, like oil upon the troubled waters.
Indeed, sir. To the Church of Hemel, then. and he makes this, takes his little cane and he makes his little, Alonzi motion, and off you go. Meanwhile, back at the room with Rain and Twig and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. All right, my friends. I suppose you saw that fellow and his suspicious monocle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He could see everything he could see everything in our pockets. He could see beyond Rain's disguise. He could see everything we own.
Oh, I start to like blush.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh jeez.
All right, so I rather think I should like to get my hands on that monocle.
Like steal it?
I think, well, yes, kind of rather borrow it for at least a day.
I mean, I feel like I'm trying to, change the reputation of Boggarts. I don't know if I'm stealing. I mean, but if you think we should, I'll do it for you.
Darling boy,
for you.
Let me bust out of character for a second and say, who's got the most dexterity among us? Because I don't know what your scores are.
I'm pretty dexy, but
Where's the captain when you need him?
I know. Dex of 14.
Yeah,
my dex is 16.
Yeah.
My sleight of hand is +3, so I'm pretty good at it.
All right, so my sleight of hand is +3, so you and I are at about the same. Can we help each other?
If only you had your rapscallion with you.
I know!
Get Pawpaw.
The blackguard.
Yeah. The one time we need the rogue and the rogue's not here.
Yeah.
He is down the street. So.
The one time you need the rogue, I'm...
Touche.
All right, so he's gone off. So I wonder if now we may not be able to get it tonight. That's all. It doesn't bother me if we wait until we have Pawpaw with us to help us with this.
Perhaps something to do towards the end of our stay, Baroness.
Perhaps, so we can take it and just take it with us. But what I want, my friends, and Twig, my dear Firefly, I don't want you to worry about your reputation as representing all boggards, because you are you, and we will save you and keep you out of any of this finagling business. But we may need you to help us simply by keeping an eye out, if you know what I mean.
Rain's gonna put her hand on. Rain's gonna put her hand.
Oh, that's a weird thing to say. Oh, jeez.
Rain's gonna put her hand on Firefly's shoulder. Like, believe me, the Baroness and I are both aware of carrying this name of others on your shoulders. It is not something you need.
Well, I mean, now like animals, they always have like a pattern of go all day, and they sleep, and they usually, when they're sleeping, they're less aware. So I could maybe track him like I would an animal and see like where he takes off his equipment and where he sleeps, and maybe he'll be separated from his monocle and some of his other equipment. And
I'm certain once the captain stops nursing his bottle, we can talk it over with him.
True.
I absolutely trust your skill, Firefly, so don't you worry. But I'm telling you, we are not leaving here without having had our hands on that monocle.
Agreed.
Maybe we could buy it from him. Do you think maybe he'd sell it, or maybe?
Oh, Twig, you are so adorable.
If we really need to, Twig, I could simply turn into him and steal a pair of his boxers and claim he's been ripped off, and have him hauled away.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
It's also rather drastic, so let's hold that one in abeyance and use it if we have to. But it's nice having a trick like that up.
Trust me, it is not the first time I've had to.
Oh, that's brilliant. All right. Well, who is what time of day is it?
It is the early afternoon.
All right. Well, who is up for tea? Anyone?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right. I say, what is it there?
I would actually still like to inquire about that library. And I have some paperwork to fill out.
Oh, don't you just. That's right. Is there anything I can help you with?
No, the questions are rather similar.
Right.
My mother herself was a bard, so I'm familiar with these forms, even though I have not taken the proper classes.
All right, I'll tell you what then. You attend to that, and I shall take our Firefly down to down to the cafe, or even look at this! They have Violet Victory. Oh my goodness, I should like to have one of those.
Before you go, Rain, could I ask you a favor?
What did
You know
do?
that thing where you wave your fingers and you do the prestidigitation and you kind of clean things up? My clothes are kind of dirty, and I feel kind of bad going back downstairs where all those fancy people are.
Twig. I use prestidigitation and I clean him up and give him a nice shining, and I fix his hair down and just give him a nice, almost sparkling appearance.
Oh, thanks. That's perfect. I feel like I was sleeping outside for a long time.
All right.
Oh, Twig.
Oh my.
Oh, this looks great. Oh, thanks.
So let's go downstairs, shall we, and get some tea?
Let's go.
And as you're coming down the stairs, you notice that there is, in fact, a big house rules sign that is posted right above the door. You probably missed it when you were coming in, and nobody told you. It reads thus: membership required, no outside dirt, noble dress code, animal companions must behave.
Can I be your animal companion?
What does that mean, no outside dirt?
Do not bring dirt inside.
Well, of course. I mean, I thought it was a code for something.
No. If you want dirt, you have to ask them to provide it to you.
I understand. All right.
The house dirt.
All right then. Does this mean that I must? So our Twig doesn't have the proper clothing to get into the place where we would have tea. All right, Twig, we're going shopping, dear.
What does it even mean, noble dress code? I mean,
They're talking about. Do you see what I'm wearing?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
All right. Well, thank you. And so you need to dress like me. And so we shall go to a shop. Let's find one.
While you do that, I will go inquire about where I can find some books.
That sounds perfect in every way.
All right. So as you come downstairs, you see Belsby kind of walking about and appearing like a ghost behind the person before they even realize they need him, that sort of thing. There are bellboys buzzing about. In the dining hall, they're preparing for afternoon tea. There are people already sort of milling about in various high noble dress code, a lot of quiets, about, and ladies laughing in their fans and whatnot. Let's begin with Rain, because we have ignored her mostly with this game. What it is that you would like to do right now?
As I exit the Champion's Lodge, I'm going to mutter under my breath, "Shallow vixens." And I'm going to go down to the Dryfoot Exchange and see if I can get some information about where to find some information.
Dryfoot Exchange. Yes, okay. So let's, we will resolve that in a moment. Baroness, Twig, you're going shopping, yes?
Yes, we are. We need to get the proper clothing for Twig.
All right. So we will do it in this fashion. Papa and Professor Brumblebottom arrive at the Church of Hemel. It is located, if you look at your maps, almost near the Hilltop Hold, where the big green gem thing is, which is itself an Eye of Hemel. As such, Papa, if you look at the sky anywhere near Dryfoot Hill, you will be able to see the Eye of Hemel, a magnificent perfect crystal suspended above an intricate stone steeple. Believed to be, and this is of course goes for all of you have seen this, in fact, and this is just a reminder, but the scene is for him anyways.
Oh, yes indeed.
Believed to be a gift from Hemel himself to watch over and protect his subjects. It is rumored this crystal used to float high above the land, glowing bright as a sun. Now it levitates ever closer to the steeple that was built below it, and its glow dims every day. So, with that, you arrive at a magnificent Church of Hemel, once a beautiful temple to a loving god of the realm, and now at many states of disrepair, like that magnificent French building that just burned down.
Notre Dame.
Thank you. It like Notre Dame, portions of it are reduced down to like the frames, and things are crumbling down. But it seems to be, in a very magnificent state nonetheless. The building is grandiose, and you see some clergy sort of milling about, going about their business.
Hemel does remain the dominant religious figure of Suddenweld, right?
He did until he died from it.
Well, okay, but there's no one has replaced him as the god who we all think is the best of the gods now.
No, not really.
So
Okay.
do people still
Now,
pray to him?
no, the
or-
Boggarts disagree because Boggarts
Yeah.
worship Thor, of course, and they
There are
never
no
really
gods.
accepted
What are
Hamel.
gods?
Exactly. And, there are a lot of secular folk as well. But yes, Hamel is the primary human, above ground, dry skin deity there is. A lot still
Okay.
cling to it. And as you do, and you kind of make your way to the stairs of the temple, you see this enthusiastic fellow coming up, and he kind of looks at you and
Oh
he's like,
my.
"Oh, hello! And who might you be?"
Oh, I give the priest of Hamel a very strange and sophisticated series of weird handshakes and fist bumps, and I'm like, "Howdy there, I'm Papa Farley. You probably heard of me, and here with me I've got the inestimable Professor Bramblebottom."
Rumplebottom goes, "My dear Papa, I am quite capable of speaking for myself. My name, as I've been so astutely mentioned by my friend and in my employ here, Papa Farley, is Professor Brumblebottom. I'm a professor of archaeology and a professor of history, and I am here to do important research on the Eye of Hamel, the Church of Hamel, and the Legend of Hamel, as you have probably heard by the papers that arrived prior." And the priest looks at him and goes, "Oh, no, of course not. I haven't heard any of that, but I do believe you wholeheartedly, seeing how you're walking upright, and you are a well-spoken fellow. Welcome, young and all, welcome, brothers and sisters, to the Temple of Hamel, where we all worship the absolutely not dead and prosperous god of all our realm that exists here. We all agree, of course, yes?"
This is like watching Kirk and Evil Kirk, except I'm not sure who's Evil Kirk. I nod my head rather
Yes, you're here for the tour, of course. The tour of the Crypt of the Champions. I would imagine this is the only reason why any lay folk such as yourself may come to our temple on this day at this time.
Well, now, I do admit I have a certain interest in seeing where a hero such as myself might someday rest, but also I am, I'm sure the good professor here has some serious research he might like to undertake. That's a little more than just touring around.
The professor looks around and goes, on the contrary, my dear Papa, I believe I would like to find out more about this here tour of the Hall of Champions. Would you please tell me again, good fellow, what was your name? He ignores him completely, right? He goes, "Please tell me more." He goes, and the priest of Hamel kind of looks at him and goes, "Well, friend, you came to the right place. This is the resting place of the Order of the Brave and the remaining 7 heroes of old. This is the defining resting place, and many people come to pay homage to the heroes that left us so untimely and to receive the blessing of the champions proper. The tour starts in approximately an hour for a small complimentary fee of 15 silver pieces a head. There will be explanation of great exploits of the heroes, followed by a tour of the tomb and the ability for you to make a small donation and to receive the blessing of the champion of your choice. Does that sound like a thing that you came here for, my good friends?"
Oh no.
Okay.
So I'm going to go, well, the professor here is engaged in serious research, and I myself am a student of the more obscure made-up rituals of your silly god. So I'd be more than, I'm sure you could find a way to discount your stupid price a little.
He goes, "I'm sorry, friend. It sounded like you have just called my beloved god, the god of all of us, the exalted Hamel, something less that befits his statue, and then made an unsavory remark about the prices, the generous..."
No, I'd never do. That's extremely uncouth. Oh, yes,
The
that's
priest
'cause
goes,
I rolled a 2
of
on
course,
my
of
check."
course. I must have been overhearing things left and right. This makes no sense. Nobody in their right mind would say anything like that. And to that I say, my good friend, that the price, every single copper that comes into our hands goes directly into the renovations of this grand but days better seen kind of temple. We, of course, have all sworn the oath of absolute poverty, he says as he's dressed in fine velvet, right? And his Bible is like, it has a gold
Awesome.
rim on it. He goes, and we do not pocket a single shilling out of all of this that comes, these generous donations that go straight into the buildings as a chunk of the stucco painting just kind of falls off of it in the side.
I do understand. I apologize. Of course, one of the great things about a vow of poverty is you can have anything, you just can't own it. All right, then I guess I'll go wait in the church, this place here, and we'll wait our chance to pay our 15 silver pieces.
Because perhaps you would like to visit the library of Hamel, the only library here, great for research, and also resting your feet on some of the finer chairs that are provided by the Church of Hamel. There you can also hear the free and delightful sermon of Hamel as presented on a half an hourly fashion by one of our delightful acolytes. This will be to the left, in the left wing, over here through the doors. Don't mind the golems.
That sounds delightful.
He goes, of course, and he ushers you to the left. And by that point, Rain, you, by virtue of asking and, saying, where's the books, you've been pointed down to the Library of Hamel yourself, and you arrive about at that time. And you see Papa Farley talking to the priest of Hamel about something. You only think it's a priest of Hamel because, well, that's the church and there's no other people around them. So there you are. And now Rain is there, delightful as it is, and we kind of give Rain the reins, as it were, of the situation and ask what she would like to do.
Don't do that.
Oh boy, where am I?
You are at the Church of Hamel, where the library is, the only library in town.
The Church of Hamel is a library.
It has a wing that is a library. Usually, in olden times, the religious folk had the access to the books, mostly.
I see. Am I approached by anyone?
Mm-mm.
I mean, you're approached by Pawpaw, who says, Rains, it's funny meeting you here. What brings you right to this delightful edifice of crystal and prayer?
I am looking for some specific information.
Well, there's a library here.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I head into the library wing and I approach the front desk and I ask if there's any information in regards to the history of sorcery.
There's a priest there, just as boggly and enthusiastic, but maybe with less of a mustache there. Who looks at you and goes, could you repeat that, please, again, just for clarity of sake, so I can take notes? What is it that you were looking for?
I'm looking to the history of sorcery in these lands and perhaps why it is so mistrusted.
It was history of sorcery. That would be in the restricted section, as mandated in accordance of the silent order, and as such, as you have probably realized, it is in fact restricted. Furthermore, it is the mandate of the silent order that if anyone does indeed inquire about the restricted section, in particular the history of sorcery, I am to take their name and make a small record for the future census. With that, if you would be so kind, what may I record your name is, madam?
Lady Von Elsif.
Lady Von, how do you spell that?
VON.
VON.
ALSIEF.
ALSEYFG. Amen. Very well, madam. With the exception of the restricted section, which is, as you can tell, restricted, may I show you anything else?
No, that is all.
Oh, very well. Just in case you're wondering, the restricted section is right there through those doors where 2 members of the Silent Order are standing guard. For emphasis.
But of course. Do I still have that Silent Order's uniform? Yes, I do.
Oh, nice.
Indeed.
All right.
Yay.
And
I
we come.
am going.
Mhm.
Is there a laboratory?
A laboratory.
Laboratory, sir. A restroom, a room in which to wash.
Oh, the little V room. Yes, madam. It is downstairs to the left. Don't mind the golems.
Thank you kindly. I'm gonna go down there, put on the uniform from my bag, and make myself look like that red tiefling with yellow eyes.
You carried
braided black hair.
Okay. This is lovely. This is wonderful. But I must ask. You carried a giant backpack with a uniform and all the accoutrements. You did not leave it back. You just knew to take it with you.
Well,
Just
if
checking.
you look at my inventory, I actually don't have a whole lot.
All right. Well, let's then continue with you going into the stalls. You go and you find the ladies' bathroom. They're gendered, of course, because medieval times.
Yeah, I don't
And-
see the backpack as giant. It's just like I don't. Well, I guess I do have a bedroll, but it's just more like a little side satchel that I keep my belongings in.
Yes, indeed. And with that, you come to the Church of Hemel's bathroom. And in there, as let me find the right path here. Here we go. As you're walking into the bathroom, you see this fellow mopping about.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sort of blocking your way.
Oh, hello, Gollum.
There is a sign, a little sort of a
Oh.
bifold sign on the ground that says in common and several other languages, please mind the wet floor. And he's just mopping about. And he's like,
You mean the golem? I kept expecting to find Gollum showing up here.
well, all right, now you know. And so,
Oh, I knew which Gollum you meant.
yes. And off it goes and kind of mops about, and it's pretty much blocking the door.
Mm-hmm.
Use some prestidigitation to change the name on his.
You're not there?
Oh shit!
Yeah. I'm just going to duck into a broom closet if I can find one.
Let's see. For that, you are in the Church of Hemel. You don't know you're. You
Are
know,
there confessionals?
maybe not in the library downstairs, but let's find out.
Okay. Survival. Wouldn't this be investigation?
I suppose you can investigate the bathroom. I will give you that.
Oh no, I'm trying to find other rooms, but okay. I'm trying to find a place that doesn't have anyone in it.
Anywhere.
You find what you think maybe is a confessional. I don't know. Do they confess in the Church of Hemel? Let's say they do. You find
Then
it,
I'm
yes.
gonna go in there, do a Superman little change thing, and I'm gonna use my second level 2 spell slot to turn into that tiefling we killed in the swamp.
All
The
right, and
female
then what?
tiefling.
And then what?
And then I'm going to go back to the library, try and nod to the guards, and sneak my way into the restricted section.
As you come up, now describe your outfit to me.
My outfit?
Mhm.
I'm donning the complete Silent Order uniform. Say the mask.
Okay, but you're not wearing a mask and you're walking up. Okay. You're coming up, and the priest of Hemel looks at you and goes, "Good day, sir or madam. It is so lovely to see another representative of the Silent Order here with us. Are you here for the change of the guard?"
No. Special orders. I'm to peel something out of the library.
Your special orders, madam. That's terrific. May I please see the order writ? I assume it will be all in order and signed by Master Harsh himself.
This It's a little off the books, if you get my meaning.
Haha, get it? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Off the books, you say?
The books, because we're in a library.
Oh, ha ha ha, Baroness.
Yes,
He goes, "You're not there. Be quiet." He goes,
Mute your mic.
he kind of winks at you, goes, off the books. I have forgotten entirely. Now, madam, would you please hand in your chit and your ring?
Happily, as I do so.
Which you do not have.
Oh, shit. I thought it was part of the uniform.
Did you take their ring? Did you look in the pockets for things? You have taken their uniform.
We took the entire uniform. We stripped them naked and left them in the swamp.
Yes, but did you take the ring?
We stripped them bare. Yes, we did.
It's one of those things. You have cards for things, and nobody, not a single person, have told me that you're taking their jewelry.
Oh,
You have taken.
Seriously?
Stuff. Yeah.
Well, one must be thorough. So what do?
Oh, boy.
You do find the chit, I'll give you that. It is in the pocket. You don't really know what he's talking about, but then you rifle about, and there is a little leather
Okay.
bookmark-looking
So
thing that has a number on it.
Okay. I'll present the chit, and I'll say, sadly, I came across a mess in the swamp, and the little onion creature made off with it.
He goes, "Oh, madam, that is highly irregular. I do recommend that you petition for another ring to be instated as soon as possible. As you understand, without a ring, you cannot enter the room."
Of course.
Oh, of course, sure, your associates will let you in. I'm certain of that. But in the future, just for protocol's sake, and because it is, convenient for us not having to do things for you. So much appreciated. Have a blessed day.
Blessed day, brother.
He does the sign of Hamel with his palm and thing. And so off you go, and you're walking by, and there is somebody, you notice they're a man and a woman, as usually they come in pairs, and they specifically have a man and a woman in there standing.
Mm-hmm.
They look at you, and they're both wearing their masks, by the way.
Oh, boy.
And one of them goes, "Good day, sister. Please state your business."
I am here to retrieve a record from the library. Off the books orders.
The woman turns around and goes, "Your voice, sister. Keep it down."
Of course.
You are here to retrieve what exactly?
I've been given orders not to say.
Indeed. Then, all that will be required in that case would be for me to see the order, and then you're welcome inside.
An official order was not given.
He goes, "Oh."
Fuck!
Oh no.
He goes, "I'm afraid I have received no special instructions or dispensation to grant any orders that have not been officially signed and sealed. As you know, due to the unusual activity of the wild sorcerers in the boundaries of our town and several unfortunate precarious escapes, we must be double vigilant, and we may not trust anybody at their word. I will be happy to accompany you back to the penitentiary so that we can get this sorted out. Or I can wait for you here, and as soon as you bring the official papers, I will be happy to let you in."
Oh, God. The priest literally just said his name. Crap. Oh, God.
I can't help you. Shoot, I didn't write it down. I'm not there anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's all good.
Yeah.
The higher-ups will not be pleased that I've been delayed.
All right, well, ponder your fate and your response as I take a tiny little break to put a certain small child into bed an hour past his bedtime. I will be right back. Consider your options carefully.
Oh God, oh God, oh God. Guys, what did I do?
This is a bad situation.
I would suggest it might work for you to think about how you could regroup and find a professional enterer into places he is not welcome with you.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That guy.
No, I'm not gonna metagame this. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you could always just be like, I don't have a way in, and then go speak to the person who you know who's good at talking his way into places. Like, that's not metagaming. That's just being like, I am defeated.
Actually, I think I have a way of doing this.
Well, then do it your way. That's more in character, probably.
Alrighty. I actually think I have a way of doing this.
Are with you.
Huh?
Hope the dice are with you. I mean, like if you
I got one natural 20. Hopefully
yeah,
I
right.
can get another.
I think you could luck your way through.
Yeah, I mean, I've been rolling pretty shit tonight, though.
So all your bad luck is gone. Look on the bright side.
I don't know. I just rolled a 3. I wouldn't say it's all gone.
I would say have a backup plan in case things go south, which they probably will.
I think the backup plan is flee.
No, I'm going to say there's like a coven of swamp sorcerers is here to attack, gathering to attack the library, and I'm going to make some kind of a magical distraction.
That's good. There are those turnip creatures.
That's going to go super well. I look forward to the combat that's about to ensue.
Hey, I still have subtle spell. I can cast spells without moving any of my fingers, casting any sigils, or reciting any incantations.
But you don't think that maybe a group of people who are tyrannical about limiting magic use might not have detect magic as a thing they can do?
As far as we know.
Well, good luck. Have fun.
Also, beware of the golems. He mentioned the golems like 5 times.
Yeah.
Have fun storming the castle. Do you think it would work? It'll take a miracle.
Oh boy.
Okay, do you know about the golems? Do you know about the clay golems and the name on their? Well, do you? They have a name on their head.
Yeah, I know in mythology they do, but we don't know about what D&D does.
Yeah, I will find out if.
So anybody who knows magic would know that in Dungeons and Dragons, okay, actually, I don't know if Gene's got it done differently. In core D&D, a golem does not necessarily have to have the name Yahweh on its forehead in order for it to operate.
Yeah, it's the name. The word is truth, actually.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's truth, and then if you erase one of the letters, it's the name of death. And so when you erase one of the letters, it becomes death, and so the golem dies.
Oh, that's cheering.
Yeah, that's why it's so sad. That's why the story of the golem is so freaking heartbreaking.
Poor golem.
Well, he sees the sunrise, and wants to live.
And we're back.
Yeah.
So, he looks at you inquisitively. How do you answer?
I have heard... There's been rumblings about a group of swamp sorcerers launching an attack on the library soon. Fetch these documents as swiftly as possible, brother. Please, natural 20. Fuck.
Damn.
2 in a row.
He goes, I understand, but there's nothing I can do. Please bring back official orders, or I will be forced to detain you and try to get to the bottom of this myself. Am I clear?
As you wish. And I, as stiffly as I can, try to do a military about face and march out of the library.
All right.
Defeated.
Okay, let's go back while Papa is waiting for the tour to Baroness and Twig, who are now going where?
We're going to a clothing shop, wherever that is. I'm not exactly sure which one.
I've been around a little. I mean, maybe we should go to the The area right by where the docks are.
So, but after a quick look at the map, you don't necessarily have a location in mind. You just want to go to the Trader's Crescent.
I can't. I don't know
Dryfoot
what.
Exchange, maybe?
I don't know what qualifies as a clothing store. I don't know what the. I can tell that the green ones are lodgings, but that's about it.
Okay.
Oh, what about the place next door? The fancy elvish magic place? Something that
The
could make me look
Crystallarium.
nice?
You're
Yeah.
talking about I haven't been
Perfume
there.
Place? It have like
Oh.
perfume, and maybe they might have like a fancy suit or a jacket with a.
I should like to.
crest.
I should like to know what if there are clothing stores because I
There-
literally can't tell.
There absolutely are.
Mhm.
You obviously can discern by just looking at the map that there's something called. There are stores all over the place. If you walk long
Yes, of
enough,
course.
you're going to pass by.
Sure.
You can, of
Right.
course, inquire and ask about. But, you have your
We can do
wits and the
that.
kindness of strangers to go on by at this point.
Indeed, I say so. So I say, let's here.
Tony's daughter would always say, "I love you 3,000."
Somebody has their microphone open,
Yes, how
and
many?
I
All right then. I say, Firefly. Let's say you and I go over to Rituel's. Beautiful smell came from, and ask them where we might be able to fit out a handsome young boggart fellow with a fine suit of clothes. Let's go straight across the street.
All right, let's go. The place smells really good. It smells just like my dad's chili, and kind of smells a little bit like my mom's armpits. It's like it's a really funny smell.
It smells just like home, doesn't it?
It does. It's really comforting.
Totally does. All right. So let's go there, and let's go to Rituel's.
built from
And so-
pale, smooth sandstone. The shop face is minimal and clean. The sign is well cared for, and everything appears quite new and of high quality. A set of wind chimes tinkles gently near the entrance to the shop, and a waft of delicate floral scent catches in the wind, inviting you into a place of serenity.
It's beautiful. Absolutely.
To the left of the door is one of those booths with a door on top and a slot and a thing, and that has a little light up sign on top, magical sign that says slightly magical merchandise. It plays a little tune when you pass by.
Interesting. All right.
All
Is
right.
there
Slightly
anything
magical.
clothing oriented or
No, it's like a
It's all
I think it's like a vending
perfumery.
machine. That's what it looks.
Hmm.
So we're going to go right into Rituel's.
Okay. The first thing that hits you when you enter is the scent. A bouquet of herbal scents and perfumes is thick in the air. The interior of the store, of the stone building, is decorated in a way that makes it look like an elven retreat, complete with the whole tree trunks, natural-looking wood, stone, and basins.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Colorful soaps, mixtures, and potions glitter in various organic-looking nooks and crannies.
Hello. Is anyone here? I'm looking for something very specific.
All right, and at that, a young lady pops up.
Beautiful.
She-
Hello, my dear.
She is about 5'8", slender and blonde. She's got piercing green eyes. She's got a lovely little outfit on and a little name tag that says, "Hello, my name is Bella Sylvain. How can I help you?" And little Rituel sign on it. And she's like, "Oh, hello. Welcome to my shop. I would love to show you around. Is there a particular unguent potion or lotion that I may interest you in today? We do have a sale on a few delightful items. If I may tell you a little bit about them."
Please do. I'd be quite interested to hear what you have on sale.
She goes, oh, of course. Over here, we have what is referred to as an oil of omens. And she points at an incense oil that is hanging in the air. It looks kind of like this. She goes, if you burn this in a lamp and breathe in the vapors for at least 10-15 minutes, I would say, during the time you may experience minor visions of the future. Our customers really like it. It's one of the highest sellers. Of course, next to it in our selection this week is the healing lotion. This is also very popular with the customers. It looks thus, and she presents you with an elegant bottle.
Oh,
She goes,
quite
if you
lovely.
apply this, if you apply this before you put yourself down to rest, no matter how small, even if you just so much as close your eyes, this fragrance salve will should be applied to any affected area, and you will enjoy the incredible soothing sensation of mint and elven oak as it provides you with a little bit of extra zest and pep right as you wake up.
Absolutely beautiful. Mhm.
Yes, of course. We do have some small samples, and this was inspired by the elven meditations, as you can tell, and how us slightly more fortunate folks don't necessarily have to rest as long as the rest of you to achieve the effects of the healing lotion today is on sale only for 40 gold pieces a bottle.
4 gold.
All right.
It's 35% off. I understand
Yes,
this is an
yes,
unheard of price
absolutely.
for such a
I
wonderful item.
know. It sounds wonderful in every way.
Should we go on or?
Let me tell you actually what I'm looking for. I'm looking for one particular fragrance that is it's perfectly clear. It's in a bottle, and it is. I've only seen it one time. It comes in a crystal bottle, and it seems as though the crystal is solid because the liquid inside it is so clear, and it is the essence of absolute balsam. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Oh, she goes, yes, of course. You're referring to Bella's Body Mist. We have 3 fragrances here. I, of course, designed it myself. This is from a more private and exclusive collection. I'm so surprised that it have made rounds all around. You don't seem like a regular here, so I assume you all came from far and beyond. But judging by your fine clothes and your beautiful posture and how well spoken you are, I can only assume that you're a lady of high stature. As such, I can tell you that we have all 3 fragrances in the Bella's Body Mist collection. We, of course, carry the Serenity, the Euphoria, and the Faith. Do you have a particular fragrance you're interested in?
Well, it is the absolute balsam. It's not only the stuff, but it's also the fragrance itself. It's rather rare. I'm surprised you have it. I would thought you might help me find it. It's not the kind of thing I actually expected to find in a shop, to be honest. So tell me about these. Tell me, it sounds fascinating to me.
Oh, she goes, well, we carry all 3 fragrances. I would love to show them to you. This is, of course, the sample of Serenity, and she sprinkles it in the air, and it's lovely and wonderful. That is, in fact, that scent that drove you here.
Indeed.
It will help you to achieve inner peace, gain greater insight in your pursuits of wisdom and a greater, deeper thought.
Beautiful in every way. It's absolutely splendid.
This, of course, and she sprinkles another little tiny bit in the air. Mind you, none of these are specifically enough for the full effect, but just for you to experience the beauty of the scents. Here we have Euphoria. Feels like pine and fresh forest.
Yes.
You immediately feel elated and happy and bubbly a little bit. And this will help you to clear your mind and make swifter reactions to things, as you would imagine. And this here, and she sprays something musty and oaky and something that resembles that you've been asking about. This here, it's the essence of faith itself. I assure you that just a small sprinkling of this, and you will feel that everything will be okay. In fact, so much, in fact, so elevated does this fragrance do for one that you might say you would even feel the favor of the god upon you.
That sounds absolutely magnificent. Now, it isn't precisely what I had in mind, but did you have a sample of this?
She goes, yes, of course. Samples are free, but they come with the fragrance and none of the beneficial.
They come with
effects.
what now? I'm sorry.
They
come with the fragrance.
They come with the scent, but none of the beneficial effects. There are samples after all, and she holds.
No, that's of course, absolutely, I understand. So, the one that captivated me in the first place was the Euphoria.
Oh, Euphoria! This is
yes.
This is one of the finest fragrances we have, and she hands you a little strip of paper with a fragrance on it that you can, kind of smell.
Absolutely fantastic. Yes, thank you.
This is a mere 275 gold for the bottle. Comes with a decorative wrap here and an art and the certificate of authenticity. Also, if you bring us the bottle to recycle, because of the properties of the bottle, we will give you about a 25 gold discount on the refill.
Oh, that's wonderful in every way. Thank you ever so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. It is my pleasure.
This is so grand because this the Euphoria scent is actually the thing that reminded me of my home. And you know what? I actually must ask you for a favor. I need to find some clothing for a fete I'm attending this evening. And I'm wondering if you could help me find a place where I might be able to buy a suitable set of garments for myself and for my friend.
Oh, she goes, oh, clothing. Yes, of course. Let me inquire. I'll be right back. And she ducks back into behind a small door. You hear a faint, strange sound, and right after that, another young lady comes up.
Hello.
She has a name tag that says, "Hello, my name is Bella Sylvain." Whatever rituals, all this other business. She goes, "Oh, good. You're still here. I'm so glad you're here. Remind me, what were we talking about just a moment ago?"
I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, I'm the proprietress of this particular establishment.
Bella Sylvain?
Yes,
I understand.
yes, of course, my good friend.
Yes, yes. I'm interested in. I want to roll insight because I want to find out what she's up to.
Oh, sure.
Please and thank you.
Oh, you want me to help you with insight? Of course.
I think so. Yes, please.
Indeed. There you go.
All right, fantastic. Frack Dak. All right, well, that puts me up against it. I'm sorry, my dear. Did I meet your sister? Because the first woman I spoke with was a blonde girl, and you are a beautiful, raven-haired girl. Are you the same?
She goes, "Oh, sister, whatever. Oh, you must be referring to Bella. Yes, of course. She is unfortunately indisposed in a moment. She sent me out to help you with your question."
Yes, and your name is also Bella.
Yes, it runs in the family.
Weird.
How wonderful. That's absolutely splendid. I shall tell you.
She laughs and goes, "Confused our mother it did, but then again she named us, so the joke's on her, isn't it?"
Well, in the end, she's the one who has to find out which one it is who's answering her questions, isn't it? So anyway, I am actually proper clothing emporium, and I thought that a purveyor of perfect sense might be able to steer me in the right direction.
Oh, of course. Yes. That will be the Garment Warehouse down in the Traders Crescent. It is a particularly flavorless store, but they do provide all flavors of clothing for all flavors of clientele. I would have you know that I purchased this here cape from them, and I do love it. So
indeed. It's lovely in every way. That's perfect. Thank you.
Consider this an endorsement. Now, if I could show you any of our merchandise and perhaps interest you in a bit of a glow foam, I hear that ladies absolutely love it.
I will tell you what, I will return on the morrow. I must attend a fete this evening. And I have
my pocket's getting lighter just standing in here.
I have an important engagement that I must attend this evening with an ambassador. And I actually need to spruce up my own adornments. And so I actually need to do that shopping first. When I have more time on my hands, I intend to come back and see all of your wares that you have.
She goes, "Well, don't let me have you leave empty-handed. After all, a satisfied customer is the one that is delighted with the joys and dreams of items to come. So it would be my pleasure to offer you this small sample of our finest merchandise, the Blessed Balm and the Vitality Mask." And she hands each of you one of those things. Which one will you take, Baroness?
I shall take the is it the Blessed Balm?
Yes.
I shall take that one.
All right. It is now in your inventory.
Thank you.
And I don't know, but I'm going to delete it. Who knows? Even. so you have the Blessed Bomb Sampler, and
I
I
do.
believe you, Twig, will take the Vitality Mask.
Oh, sure. Is it free?
Yes, it is. She's giving it to you
Okay.
here.
Good.
He
Yeah,
goes-
sure. I'll
He
take
goes,
anything.
oh yes, it is absolutely free. It is, of course, just a small sample, so the effects and the magnitude of this, and also the amount of applications is going to be greatly diminished, but this is mostly to just whet your appetite for the wonders to come.
Absolutely, and I certainly appreciate your kind attention.
He goes, oh, it is entirely my pleasure. And she kind of bows and whatever.
Yeah,
That's grand. And we
thanks.
take our leave.
If you like.
Yeah, let's
Yes, because we need to go clothing shopping. So we'll
Okay.
say goodbye and head out
go. Down
to
to
buy
the
some
trader's
clothing.
present.
Indeed. In the interest of time, I will tell you that you have found the garment warehouse. And it is a small, minimal kind of arrangement with a lot of first and second hand clothing. You are absolutely able to purchase a set of fine clothing from them.
Now, Twig looks like a fine gentleman, and
Little
he's in a proper
dapper.
suit. And we actually have the right size boots for you, my dear, which is an amazing thing.
Yes.
Hi, yeah.
The set of fine-
kind of big.
The set of fine clothes will set you back 15 gold.
That's fine.
Indeed.
I would definitely try really hard to maybe sleight of hand or, slip all of my money into the Baroness's pocket if I can. If she won't accept payment, I'll try to find a way to finagle my gold purse into her possession.
So the Baroness now has the 15 gold, and I will deposit a
Okay.
I got
set
10
of
gold,
fine
so I would-
clothes into the Twigs inventory. You now have it. It is
Excellent.
six whopping pounds of clothes, but all inclusive stuff. And we, with that, get back to Papa Farley and our.
Isn't that like a perception check for the Baroness, though?
To see
Wouldn't
if she
she
can spot-
feel what's going on?
In which case?
Trying to sneak my money.
Oh, that?
into her.
That is entirely up to her. If she wants to oppose that, I don't know. I
It's
don't.
like one of those
is
fighting
this,
over the check.
Is this
situations,
consensual
Really
reverse
poorly.
theory?
I shall not. You know what? He's going to try, and I am going to 100%.
Wow.
Here's
One-
what's going on. I will keep him from doing it without hurting his feelings in any way.
Well, you could try, but you certainly notice.
I
Yeah.
do notice, and so what I do is I take the coins out of my pocket, and while he is not looking, I slip them back in his.
So
Oh.
I feel good, like I gave you money.
Yes, and it
Aw.
There was a
No.
20 in my pocket I didn't know about.
it will automatically appear. And if you
So she
ask
rolls-
me about it, I shall tell you that it had nothing to do with me.
And yes, of course, Twig, she put it back, but that's fine.
Just this back and forth. This is just like it is in real life. You're
Absolutely.
Somebody
Put
goes
it in
up to
my
the bathroom,
pocket,
you
I
try to
put it in yours, etc. And the other thing is, if it does end up in my pocket, I shall simply buy him something to eat with it.
Indeed. So it goes back and forth until one of you gets it, and frankly, I don't really care which one. It is
It
really
doesn't
cute.
matter,
Yeah,
does
It
it?
really, it's really cute, but nonetheless, we come back to Papa Farley, who at this point is hearing the bells, and the tour is begun. He is in a group of about half a dozen other foreigners. They all look like tourists from various sides. None of them are boggarts, just a couple of people, maybe a tiefling or two, definitely a bunch of elves. And what happens is that you go into the Crypt of the Champions, right? It is a magnificent, beautiful thing. First, of course, they drive you through the Disneyland corridor of vignettes, frescoes, and various other tapestries of Hamel, telling you about the legend of Hamel and how all of it happened, until they eventually bring you down to the Crypt of Champions proper, where, one moment, you see, they bring you down into this room, and in it, in the middle, where it says number 1, you see they describe this as the grave of Lenora the Brave, the champion of champions, the goddess of light, the bringer of of resolution and freedom to the people. On the left, they say, is Kendra the Kind, the goddess of sweetness, love, and kindness itself, the druidess, the natural one. Below her is the grave of Jingles the Jester, taken at the least opportune time, with a joke on his lips and the dance in his step. Below him is Sever the prophet, the beautiful tiefling prophetess that have helped the heroes learn the truth of their fate and have instructed them and guided them through it all. To the right, you see the tomb of Wellworth the Old, the wise wizard. There is to whose skill and knowledge has not been any equal yet. The man who has been known to slay a dragon with a mere wave of his fingers. And below is the final resting place of Selim the Sharp, the rogue of rogues, so fast indeed that people did not see her coming or going, deadly with the blade as she was with the venom, but using all of it for the greater good. And last but certainly not the least is Baron the Brute, the strongest warrior who single-handedly pushed back wave and wave after foe and was the first to be slain after defending the entire group in their final assault. The tour concludes with the invitation to be blessed by one of the 3 lesser champions by donating, by putting a donation of at least 1 gold into the bowl. Everybody is given the opportunity and chance. Eventually, Papa, your turn comes up. Do you do so?
Did we lose Papa?
It seems that we may have. I will look.
I was muted. Sorry.
That's quite all right.
I will do this in a manner which I assume Jingles would approve of. I will go up to the bowl, and I will appear to place a gold piece
into what?
And don't into Jingles' bowl.
Jingles' bowl. Okay. You do so. You successfully perform the motions, and they hear the jingle of your coin. You do your little thing. You walk away. The tour is over. They usher you out.
The gods have eyes, mortals don't, buddy.
Hey, I'm saying he is literally the bard. If he can't appreciate that, then he's not my kind of god anyway.
Well, yes, and one thing to mention is that through the entirety of the tour, if you or anybody else were to get anywhere close to the golden rope surrounding Leora the Brave, they would immediately usher you out, and the golem that is sweeping by would gently but very obviously raise his mop and kind of stare at you until you back away.
All right.
And that concludes that particular thing. And Papa, as I did before, and everybody else, please pay attention to the chat. Sometimes I send you things.
Okay. Pay attention to the what? I'm sorry.
To the chat. Sometimes
in
I send
Fantasy
you
Grounds.
things. Yeah, sometimes I send you things.
Okay.
All right. Now, as you exit, Papa, you notice that Professor Brumblebottom is missing. Much to your surprise, you didn't see him slip away, but there was just too much commotion, and the priest was very overbearing, and then you did your thing. Perhaps when you were pretending to pay homage to Jingles the Jester, did he slip away?
Okay. I take advantage of his disappearance then to go do the thing I wanted to do also, which is I show up to the library. I go up to the librarian, and I'm going to attempt to persuade the librarian to write me a pass into the restriction section of the library.
Oh boy.
All right.
Did he see me as a tiefling pass by?
This is an extra. It's a 17.
Yes. So. Yes, I understand. I see that. And he looks at you and he goes, good sir, even with a proper persuasion, and he makes the sign of rubbing fingers together, I wouldn't be necessarily capable of giving you such a dispensary paper. However, I can here, for a small donation of 5 gold, write a recommendation for you to seek direct audience with the clerk of the penitentiary, where a member of the Silent Order's bureaucracy can in fact issue such a document for you. And then I would be extremely happy to allow you an extended time in the section.
Well, now, for a letter of recommendation, I would certainly hope for as weighty a remuneration as 5 gold pieces would be. That better be an extraordinary letter of recommendation.
He looks at you and goes, my good sir, my penmanship is renowned throughout the monastery, and the turn of my language is unparalleled. I guarantee you an audience with a bureaucrat, post-haste.
You know what? It seems like it's worth doing. Sure, I'll give him the 5 gold. I'll mark it off my...
All right, you now have a letter of recommendation.
Okay.
For the Silent Order Penitentiary. I put it in your character sheet. You now has it. And with that, it's the end of the day, and it's time for all of you to get back to your respective
One small detail, Gene.
Yes,
How
ma'am?
long, while everyone was out doing their thing, how long would you say it took Rain to leave the library after she cast the spell to turn into the tiefling?
To leave it? I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
Transformation lasts an hour. So, did I turn back into a CL while wearing the Silent Order uniform in the middle of a fucking church?
Well, that's a very, very good question. How long does your enchantment last?
1 hour.
1 hour. With that in mind, you managed to leave and be far away from the monastery just in time to hide that.
Okay, just making sure.
I would still request a little roll from you just to be sure that nobody else have seen you, because it's not like you had exactly the time to figure out where, which phone booth to
I'm
duck
not
into.
pushing those buttons anymore. They screwed me over. I'm just going to roll from my skills menu. That was stealth. And still no better.
All right, so
The number of
so eventually
we've
enchantment
been rolling
fades.
so many 3s.
Yes, but maybe it's the cover. It's the cover of Twilight, and all of you basically, you realize it's time to go. The shops are closing up. The only things that are remaining for you to browse and peruse are those automated kiosks and an occasional crier selling the news. Everything else is kind of being in a state of being closing in the next 20 minutes or so. If you want to go somewhere else, I will allow you one more location to visit, and then it's going to be the end of the day. Unless you want it to be the end of the day right now.
It's all right, as long as Twig and I get to eat. That's all that matters to me.
I'm just going to dash my way back to the half-in.
Half in, you're not going to the Champions Lodge?
Well, I'm going to meet up Papa and Bramblebutt over there and let them know that we have lodgings at the Champions Lodge.
Okay, you do so. Are you all getting together for dinner in one particular place? Are you staying in the different, what's happening with your evening?
I'm not certain because I don't know how that would go over because we were already bringing one boggart in. But then again, I'll just invite them over to the Champions.
Do you go?
Papa?
I can't hear either one of you. You're going in and out.
Yeah, there's some really
sorry.
bad clipping. I'm not sure what's
some
going on.
roboting. Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's a connection issue or
It's probably a connection issue.
I am not certain. One moment. Let me check.
It just was sounding very metallic.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Is this any better?
No.
Not really. And it was not only you, Gene, but it was also Rain. So I was losing both of you. Anyhow,
My recommendation is hang up the voice channel real quick and rejoin it and see if that fixes the problem for you.
Okay.
Okay, better.
Not particularly. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is here.
Well, crap.
I think
Have you
it's
tried
just
turning it
being-
off and on again?
So maybe pushing through it and just,
Yes. Everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, everybody's doing it now.
It's very twangy. Well, I think maybe we should. I wonder what we should do. Should we get together for dinner, or should we just call it a night?
I mean, I feel like call it a night, but come see me play before you do.
Oh,
Of course.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, are you playing tonight? Is it
I'm
tonight?
playing every night, all week.
Oh well, heavens, we should go over there.
Yeah, let's do that and then go to bed at the lodge.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100% follow. Yes.
In
What do you say, Firefly?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to hear Papa. He's amazing.
Yes, let's do that. I can't wait.
in the
Although I
inter-
wouldn't note, it is my actual real world bedtime, so I need to wrap up pretty soon.
Well, we're
Yes,
about to
you'll
wrap
do-
up. We're about to
Yes.
Maybe
wrap
it's
up.
good to pick this up. Yeah.
Okay.
next time.
It was a great shopping episode, everybody.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah,
We didn't even have to fight any bad guys.
Indeed. In the interest of time, I will
came
tell you
this
that
close to, though.
Yeah, I mean, we were fighting with a desk clerk, and Rain was fighting with potential golems and tieflings. It's,
And,
indeed.
And bad librarians.
I know how to live life on the edge.
Indeed. So Papa's concert is
most
delightful.
Of our combats are either cooking or bureaucracy.
right.
Are there any complaints? I will be happy to throw in some actual altercations too.
No. I like this. This is how we are all like. This is, I think, more real. Most people don't engage in life or death combat 6 times.
That's
Yeah,
what I
no,
was
really-
thinking.
I like that flavor of it. It's not just combat to combat to combat to combat.
Indeed. And so with that, I will tell you that the concert that Papa played was delightful. Everybody who was present, and usually at the Half Inn, there is a lot of activity at night, had a lovely time, and every rendition of Papa's song was met with great cheer. Papa, why don't you roll a d6 for me?
A D6. Hot diggity. No whammy. Lucky 7. Go. Well, whatever.
Papa made 25 gold in tips.
Oh, hot damn.
Wow.
Nice.
Gotta say, Wet Foot Boogie's maybe my favorite.
Indeed.
But
And
the
so
Creeks
we'll
to the
leave.
Milkmaid is also awesome.
And so we will leave our evening on this particular note. Those of you that go back to the Champions Inn will be offered tea and a nightcap before in the lounge. And as you do so, and are sipping your tea right before the end of the night, I would like for this to happen real quick.
Oh,
Someone's a
good
little more
roll.
perceptive than I.
far more. Everything just went right over my head.
You had a hard day.
I didn't think I've rolled. Well, I had the one odd 20, but I honestly haven't rolled higher than a.
Now, we were
No,
rolling
you didn't.
perception for what? I missed what we were doing it for.
You don't know what you
Go
were
back
doing it
find
for, not yet anyways.
All right.
And now you do. At least those of
I
you that
see.
have rolled well enough. So there you have it.
Mhm.
Indeed.
Interesting. All right.
You're welcome to share it or keep it to yourself, but I would like
Yeah,
this to
I
be.
mean, I would probably, like,
Did you see that really tall guy? He was like taller than me, even.
There is something rather fishy, don't you think?
What is
Yeah.
going?
Well, you see, when we returned to our lodgings, someone seemed to be locked into a room. It was odd. We'll have to talk about it tomorrow.
Maybe he lives in there, but he wanted to be locked in. City
I'm
folk are so weird.
sometimes they are, but they're not that weird. All right. Well, let's talk about it in the morning, I say. Let's take this under
Sounds good.
advisement.
Indeed. And with that, I would like to finish the 4th chapter of the Forgotten God campaign. I would like to thank you very much for joining me today on this exciting adventure. I hope you guys had as much fun as I have.
Yeah, thanks, Gene. That was great.
Without a doubt. Yes.
Awesome. If you have any suggestions, questions, or anything like that, please let me know. I will set our next game 2 weeks from today, Saturday at 8 p.m. Hopefully we'll be joined by Captain Malav this time. And in general, thank you very much. You guys make this a wonderful, wonderful thing. I have to say I have prepared a ton of really cool story. I was afraid we will not have enough for today, but turns out we have enough for 5 more games.
Always the way
Oh,
it is.
boy.
Always the way it goes. If you have received any cards or items that have been done impromptu and require, special attention, please remind me. Other than that, thank you yet again. Rain have survived, even though that she have informed me that she've made no less than 2 more characters just in case.
Hey, not me too. I'm just relying on the one for now.
All right. Have a lovely evening. I love you guys. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Ping me anytime you need about the game. Good night.
All right, cool. See you guys.
That was fun.
Yes, that was fun. I wonder what happened to our voice chat. I have no idea.
It
Sometimes
seems
it
like
does
just a connection issue.
Yeah, but for all of us, I think it could be Discord's problem. I don't really know what the deal is.
I think so. Yeah.
Could be. Discord doesn't